Welcome everybody to Mom Street USA. My name is Kate, aka the Disney Cicerone, and with me is my lovely co-host, Jacque, aka Wishes Mama. And tonight we're going to be talking about the deluxe resorts at Disney, well, Disney World specifically. We'll do Disneyland in another episode. But we also want to talk a little bit about renting DVC points as well and how that can save your family money. Or not, depending on what risks you want to take. So it'll be an interesting discussion for that. We have a tremendous amount of information to give you guys tonight, and so we apologize in advance if we move quickly. Please ask questions. We don't want to cut anything off too quickly, but we're only going to get probably through about half of the deluxe resorts tonight, and we'll have to do a part 2 episode for the rest, just because there's so much information.
Like Kate was saying, we were going through all of the deluxe resorts and looking at the massive list, and I knew how many there were, but I didn't know how many there were. I feel like at the same time. So it was a lot, and we were looking at it going, we need more than one show. So
yeah, deluxe
part
resorts
one
is a lot.
Yes, part one with the deluxe resorts. And before we get too far into it, it was a lot of research to look up all of the prices and everything for all of this. So I want to give a shout out to Amanda, Pocket Fam travel agent Amanda, who helped me look up a ton of prices that I could not find on the website anywhere. So she is the MVP of our show tonight because I could not find them without her. So she is in my chat right now. Book it with Amanda. So she is a travel agent in Pocket Fam. So feel free to write down her info if you'd like to contact her for a trip, because she was super helpful to me today.
Really appreciate that, Amanda. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And Lem's saying we're climbing the bougie scale, and he's be right back. Let me get my gold ears to listen to this. Like, I feel like you do. You need the bougie ears for this one, because that's where we're at.
We're all sparkly and I know I got out my fancy ones for tonight.
I know. I should have gotten my more expensive ones, but I don't have the gold ones. So I got this is
That's
true.
true.
So
That's
it's
true. There's
fine.
always next week, considering we're doing part 2 next week. So
I could do like my Figment popcorn bucket's probably the biggest flex I got. Like my
That's
vintage
true.
like Disney stuff.
yeah.
So
That's very true.
okay.
So let's start by talking about benefits of deluxe resorts. So for those of you who have been here with us, we've chatted already about the value resorts. We've chatted about the moderate resorts, but we're talking top tier now, deluxe resorts. So the biggest benefit right now of staying at a deluxe resort are those extra magic hours, so to speak. They don't really call them, are they still called extra magic hours anymore? I'm not even sure.
I think so. I think they are.
So deluxe resorts have extra time in the parks that the other people staying on property do not have. So Kate, you've got the times I think you wrote down.
So typically right now, and this is extended all the way through 2023. It was originally just going to be for the 50th anniversary. They extended it through 2023 on Mondays. Epcot has extra magic hours at the end of the day. Remember, all the resorts on property have 30 minutes at the beginning of the day, but specifically Deluxe have about 2 hours-ish at the end of the day. And at Epcot on Mondays is usually Epcot day for that. And they'll have also a bonus 6 p.m. extra virtual queue drop for Guardians right now. So you could actually ride Guardians a lot in a day with this deluxe, or you can just choose to kind of skip, the rest of the day there and just come over and pop over and do Guardians in the evening. But it's typically from like 9:30 to 11:30. It depends on which day you're going, so you'd want to check the times for that. And then on Wednesdays, you get extra magic hours at Magic Kingdom, which is about 10 or 11 p.m. to 12 to 1 a.m. So maybe not with your littles such a great option, but those of you with older kids or just traveling on your own as an adult, really fabulous time because there's a lot less crowds for the rides. So a lot of the lines are very short, and you can get a lot done in those 2 hours.
Absolutely.
During the extra magic hours.
Tour guide Barbie says they call it extended hours and then early access are the terminology that Disney is using for those. So pretty close, but what we formally know as extra magic hours that we used to get before COVID and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I have a question. Do they check your magic bands during the extra magic hours? And they do. They do it a little differently depending on which park you're at. So, like Epcot, I think they check it like every single ride you go in, you have to
Yeah.
do, they scan your
They just
magic
have to
bands. But
scan
at
you.
Magic
Yeah.
Kingdom, it's kind of like they scan one and then they like let your whole group in behind you. So you say, I've got all these, these people are with me. How many are in your party? And you say five, and they scan the first one and then they let everybody else go. So it's a little bit different, but yes, they do scan your magic bands. It's not likely you're going to get to do anything if you're not staying in a deluxe resort. They're going to shuffle you out of the park. Or, well, technically you could hang around and not go on any rides,
Right.
if you just wanted to hang out for 2 hours and warm around, but you really can't do anything. So,
Right. Should go shopping. That's pretty much about it.
yeah, you could do a lot of shopping. It's a great
You
time to go
could.
shopping,
Yeah,
if you just want to do
absolutely.
that.
Perfect. So, along with the deluxe resorts, we wanted to talk a little bit tonight about DVC, which stands for the Disney Vacation Club. So, a lot of these deluxe resorts kind of go hand in hand with DVC. So, we wanted to kind of give you guys an overview of that. And Kate, I'm going to let you take the reins on that since you've got a little more info about that than I do. But we
Yeah.
wanted to kind of give you this info so you guys would have it and kind of can carry it with you throughout the rest of the deluxe resorts that we talk about.
Yeah, so I am not a DVC owner. DVC, Disney Vacation Club, is a timeshare program. I know a lot of people who are DVC owners, though, and I've gotten to know a lot about the program. So my experience is more with renting DVC points, which I think is a little bit more applicable here to everyone because not everybody can afford to buy DVC. Not everybody can afford to rent either, but renting DVC, you can actually stay at a lot of these deluxe resorts for prices that are closer to a moderate level. So you can save, I'd say, like around average 40% maybe on your hotel stay. And it's honestly, I have stayed in a lot of these deluxe resorts, and the only way I have stayed there is by renting DVC because I can't afford it otherwise. So as we move through here, I will definitely tell you kind of like what it typically is for DVC rental versus like Jacque has the rack rate. So what is renting DVC points? Basically, you can go directly to a person who has DVC and work out a deal with them for them to book the reservation on their account with your name and make a reservation that's in your name, and then you own it. I would recommend, unless you know the person personally, I'd recommend going through a broker. So two of the ones that I recommend, one is called DVC Rental Store. DVCRentalStore.com is probably my favorite. And what they have kind of two options for you to do. You can say, these are the dates I want to go, and this is the resort and the kind of room that I want to stay at. They go, and you usually put down a deposit. They go and search and see if it's available, and if it is, then you pay like a larger sum to book it. And then you can make payments at DVC Rental Store. You can actually make payments on it until it's time to go. They also have something called confirmed reservations, which are reservations that somebody else made that are like needing to be filled. So sometimes you can get like a really good discount on those ones because they say the trip is coming up like in 2 weeks and somebody's just like can't go on it. They put it kind of back in the marketplace, but it's booked only, it's those exact dates. You can't alter it at all. But if you can say like, I could swing to go, these 3 days on this particular time. And sometimes they're even far out. They're not just like the next 2 weeks. Sometimes you can find them in January, March. So those ones you can, you'd have to do those exact dates, but you can get a significant discount on those, even more so than just renting points. So there's kind of two options for renting points there. Now, renting points is not the same as making a reservation through the website. If you make a reservation through the website, you can pretty much cancel it up to a certain point without penalty. You can modify your dates. You can change your party really easily. That's not this way for DVC. This is where the downside comes in because a lot of them, you can't change it at all for when you rent. You pretty much are just set in stone. Sometimes you can add people onto it. I've added people to my reservation before. It's a little bit more of a hassle. So I recommend you kind of know who's going before you book.
Probably a good idea.
Sometimes they have rules about how often you can change that. Like you can only make like 2 or 3 person changes and then they say no more because they essentially have to like bug the person whose account it is to do it. So they have rules about that. I know DVC Rental Store has a stress-free cancellation policy too, which is basically, on a sliding scale for how close it is to your vacation, they'll give you a certain percentage of your reservation back in like credit form to book again. So not money back, but credit form. And that's where all those confirmed reservations come from, is people that have canceled, and they just try to get them rebooked. So that stress free cancellation policy, and also the ability to make payments, in my mind, puts DVC Rental Store above the rest in terms of brokers that I use. The other one that I have used also is David's Vacation Rentals. David's Vacation Club Rentals, I should say. dvcrentals.com is the website. And he has some very similar setup, a little bit different process. You have to pay, after you pay your deposit and they find your reservation, you have to pay 100% in full. Otherwise, they just added in an option to use Bill Me Later from PayPal. So it's not through the website, it's kind of its own. So there is kind of an option there. But I've also found I personally, they don't really have much of a cancellation policy. It's like once you put your money down, you might lose it if you have to cancel your trip. That's always the biggest risk for DVC rentals, is that you could lose all of your money if you're not careful. So I say, if you're going to rent DVC, always, always, always go get trip insurance as well, especially if it's a big purchase, not just like one night somewhere. If it's like a whole week's vacation, just go get trip insurance. And then something happens, somebody gets sick, somebody gets injured, you can't go, get really good trip insurance. And then it will cover the cost of your trip in case you can't go, in case you have to cancel. So, what else? If you want a specific room, say you want one that's like really, really coveted, like Grand Californian is in the bucket. You really got to look like 11 months out for that. They do get booked up, and it's only if someone decides to cancel that you might actually get a spot. So the farther out you look, the more likely you're going to actually be able to find the resort that you want, just because of availability. And I also say that if you're looking for different types of rooms, which there are, there's a great site that's called dvcinfo.com, has a lot of really great room layouts. They show how all of the villas are laid out, just so you can see helpful. Who's going to sleep where, where am I going to put my kid? My kid doesn't want to sleep in bed with their sibling, where, like, how can I configure all the people in the rooms? That one is one of my favorites. So, I have a question. With renting DVC rooms, do you get your rooms cleaned like normal hotel rooms? Leslie, that's a great question. You do not. It's very different. Most of these places have they have a full kitchen or a kitchenette, so it's kind of like renting a house somewhere, right? That's how you think about it. So they actually do like a towel service like 4 days into your stay, but you're kind of in charge of cleaning your own space. So they have vacuums and things to clean up, but you're really it really is like renting a little condo, I would put it. So, yeah. So that's Jess kind of a breeze through DVC.
Jess is saying that they used David Vacation Rentals, and it was pretty slick. She said that they rented DVC and saved so much money, and the resort was great. So,
and you do own the reservation once, like they put it in your name, so you can connect it to your My Disney Experience account. You can book dining reservations. You can do all the things that you would normally do. The only things you can't do is alter your reservation on your own. So, I mean, I've used it so many times. I've probably over 10 times at least. I've rented DVC points, and I've never had an issue specifically going through a broker. So I recommend it if you want to try and stay in one of these deluxe resorts, even for a night or two, and then maybe, like do part of your stay, and then at the end of your stay splurge on a deluxe, this is a great way to go.
I was going to say, I've heard of a lot of people doing that if they have those kind of confirmed reservations that are maybe only 3 days, 4 days, but they want to stay a whole week. They bookend it, or they do, a value resort at the beginning, and then that, lots of different options if you find one of those that fits within your realm of dates that you're wanting to go.
Yeah. Yep. So that's a very quick run through all things DVC. And I will talk about, when we get to one of these resorts that has a 2-bedroom, I'll talk a little bit more about, there's a difference between 2-bedroom and 2-bedroom log off. There's a difference between that, but I'll show those when we get to one of the resorts, because we've had a lot to talk about.
Perfect. Sounds good. And again, if you guys have questions or comments, we'll try our best to get to them as we go through. Know that we do see all of your comments. We just may not have time to respond to each of you individually. So just know that kind of as we're going through. So let's jump into some resorts, shall we?
Yeah. Before we do, Lem
Yes.
says the other thing people do with rentals is deluxe hops so they can get availability for longer stays. Yep. Yeah. And yeah. And I also say you could use this advantage like we talked about extra magic hours. If you booked your stay for, around that night of the extra magic hours, you can get those bonus 2 magic hours just for that one night that you're staying
Right.
in that hotel. So a
Yeah.
way to get a little extra time in the parks too.
Absolutely, absolutely. So when we were looking at these different resorts to try to decide what to talk about when, we kind of grouped them by location. So we're going to start at Disney World, and we're going to kind of go through different pockets of resorts and kind of go from there. So we're going to start over in Disney Springs with the two main deluxe resorts that are over in the Disney Springs area, which are Saratoga and Old Key West. So let's start with Saratoga. There we go.
I'm just realizing how fast we were putting this together, and I said it opened in 20,024. It's not even close to right.
No, that's not. What date were you going for on that one, Kate?
I think it's 2004. But I'm like,
It does.
it's opening
That's
in
good.
the future.
Woohoo! That's good. That's good.
Oh, it's good
Oh
times.
my goodness. Anyway, continue
Sorry.
with your.
Didn't mean to re-derail you. So why don't I just give a tiny brief overview of where
Perfect.
it comes from, and then you can talk all about, amenities and cost, and I'll throw up some maps and pictures and things for us. So
Love it.
So Saratoga Springs it opened in 2004, I'm pretty sure, not whatever this is. It used to be the Walt Disney World Conference Center, and then thanks, Jackie, for fixing that. Also, it housed the Disney Institute Professional Development Center for a long time, and then they changed the whole complex into a resort. It was inspired by the city of Saratoga Springs in New York, and that city itself is known for mineral springs and horse racing, so you see a lot of that theming pulled into the resort. The official slogan of Saratoga Springs, by the way, is health, history, and horses. So that's what you can think about when you're there.
A city slogan.
A slogan.
That's
I know. I wonder if my
wonderful.
city has a slogan. I gotta look it up.
Oh my gosh.
And also, the club sandwich was invented there in 1894 in Saratoga Springs. Little fun fact for you. So then you can also get a couple varieties of club sandwiches at the Chippendales Cafe that's in the resort. So little fun facts for you for Saratoga.
I was laughing at Abby says in my chat, Kate can predict the future. So cool.
I know. Could use it to my advantage.
Right? Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's talk about the rooms at Saratoga. So a couple different options for rooms there. You've got studio rooms there that will accommodate 4 people. And in
Not that,
those,
sorry. What's happening over here? I went to mirror and then I flipped, so you get to see all the things. Woo!
Anyway,
all right.
okay. Studio rooms will accommodate 4 people. They're running on average around $600 a night. And again, a lot of these prices came straight from either the Disney World website. A couple of them came from kind of Google searches, and some of them came straight from our good friend Amanda, who looked them up on her agency website for us. But those are a look at your kind of standard rooms that are around $600 a night. And Kate wrote me a little note here in our notes that if you're looking at DVC rental in that same room, you're looking at around $308 a night. So
Significant
pretty much,
price.
yeah, cuts it in half with that one in particular. Thank you, Kate, for the lovely visuals as I continue to talk about the rooms. They've got villas as well at Saratoga. The villas are 1 bedroom all the way up through 3 bedroom. They will accommodate anywhere from 5 to 12 people. You'll find that a lot of these deluxe resorts have those bigger rooms in the villa styles, especially 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms. A lot of them will accommodate larger parties. So if that's something you're looking for, these may be options for you. So a 1 bedroom will accommodate still about 5 people, or not about 5 people, will accommodate 5 people.
About 5.5.
For an average of around $818 a night. So we are up into, closer to 1,000 mark with some of these deluxe resorts. The 2 bedrooms will accommodate 9 people, and that jumps up to about $1,365 a night. So breaching that $1,000 a night threshold for some of these. At Saratoga, they also have treehouse villas. Those
I have a
treehouse
picture of
villas
that.
will accommodate 9 people as well, and those will run you around $1,728 a night.
Thought I
So
had a
you're
picture of that. Oh, there it is. I found it.
perfect, perfect.
Which are really like very secluded. Like they're one of the
Yes,
most secluded ones on Disney properties. So if you just really want to be
absolutely.
away from everybody, if you're like an extreme introvert, this is your place.
There you go. Beautiful. And then they do also have 3-bedroom villas as well that will accommodate 12 people. But you're going to be looking at $2,855 a night for those 3-bedroom villas. So
Unless you rent
definitely,
DVC. It'll be a little
there you go.
less.
Yes, exactly. So kind of a wide range there. If you're looking at the standard, you're going all the way from 600 a night with those studios we talked about at the beginning, all the way up through those 3-bedroom villas are in the 2,800 range. So again, these are looking kind of peak season prices. So is a chance that you could get them for cheaper. Or if they've got promo deals or things out. Amanda's saying in my chat, new promo deal that they just came out with is a great deal on Deluxe Resorts. So definitely look into that if that's something you want. But these are just kind of the average general prices for peak season that we have found.
I got a whole bunch of comments over here. So Kirk says, I hear Bigfoot rents a treehouse, super big introvert. Yeah. He's from Oregon, by the way. So we get Bigfoot. But Alessia is like, I'm going to camp instead because based on those costs. Lem says 308 a night where it belongs, which I actually kind of agree. I feel like this belongs in the moderate category from the feel of the resort. It
Yeah.
feels very strange. And then Kirk also mentioned it has a 24-hour pool, which is great. Maybe that's them trying to make up for the fact that it feels like a moderate resort.
I'm not sure that's quite enough for that price point, Kate.
No, I need more. Give me more. So
Well, let's talk about what all they do have to offer. So food options, 7 different food options on the resort. Again, when I throw out these numbers about food, some of them are poolside bars, some of them are cafes. I'm not talking 7 full sit-down restaurants necessarily. So just kind of keep that in mind. But there are 7 different options across the resort property for you. 5 different pools and apparently a 24-hour pool, as Kirk has informed us, that you have the option to use. Something that's really interesting about the deluxe resorts when we're talking about amenities is a lot of them have like a community hall. So think like a place where they've got like pool tables and like that type of thing, like where you could just kind of go. So it's not the arcade, but it's something a little bit different. So that was something that a lot of the deluxe resorts have that we haven't really seen yet when we've been talking about resorts. Saratoga does have bike and Surrey bike rentals. We talked about those in the moderate level. I'm sure you are getting all sorts of interesting comments over there. I can tell.
I'm trying really hard. I'm like, I have to focus. It's a lot of information tonight.
Oh my word.
I'm gonna try to focus. Yeah. And Kirk says it's like mainly a convention DVC spot, so corporate pricing. I agree. And there's but it is really close to Disney Springs. And so if like shopping is really important to you, and dining, it's a great place to be because you can walk there. It's about a 15-minute walk to Disney Springs. And there's also a boat, I believe, that goes across the water.
Yes. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. So back to our other amenities. They've got all sorts of tennis, basketball, fishing. They've got a health club. One of the golf courses is right kind of in conjunction with this resort. So the Lake Buena Vista golf course is right there. And at that golf course, they do also have a driving range and pro lessons, which is kind of cool. So if that's something that you're into, I know when I was a kid, when we went to Disney, my mom and my sister and I would go to the parks and my dad would go golfing. So that was his Disney experience. And I think he had a hole in one and then it popped out at one of the Disney courses. And that's like one of his favorite stories to tell.
That's a bummer.
I know.
That's not what you want.
Right. So kind of cool that you've got the golf course super close there. Transportation, they do have buses. Looks like 5 stops across the entire resort. So that's definitely something to consider.
That's what I'm saying. Like it feels like a moderate. That's what like we talked about in our previous episode with Port Orleans and a lot of, and Caribbean Beach, they all have those multiple stops too. So it's that, in that way, it feels like a moderate.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. And then, yes, they do have a boat that is accessible to take to Disney Springs. You can also walk to Disney Springs if you choose to, like Kate mentioned before. But yeah, the buses are definitely something to consider if you're going to be going to Saratoga. Yeah, Kirk says the bus stops are super frustrating. It's too far spread out.
yeah, and I've also heard if you're staying in one of those tree houses, just don't even bother. Like, just drive yourself because it's so just kind of
Don't even
removed.
bother.
Don't bother with the buses. Just drive yourself. So,
Right.
yeah.
But if you are wanting to venture out and stay in Saratoga, according to we've got some help from touring plans in our information we're giving you guys tonight. So according to touring plans, buildings 15 and 16 are an easy walk to the carriage house main building with the restaurants, pool, and other services. So if you want to be close to kind of centrally located, buildings 15 and 16 are where you want to go in Saratoga.
Becca says she loves Saratoga. I think Saratoga has its fans. It has its like Saratoga stands. They're like Saratoga all day, and I'm not one of them. But I think that it's great that there are people that love that. So, we all have our favorites. It's great, So
Yes, very true, very true. Let's continue trucking along and move on to Old Key West Resort, which is the other of the Disney Springs Resort area deluxe resorts.
yeah, it's this one opened in 1991 as Disney's Vacation Club Resort. So this was the the first timeshare DVC resort that Disney ever opened was Old Key West, and it has some of the largest DVC rooms on property. So it's a really great one if you just really want more room for your family, and that's yeah. So I have some photos. Do you want to keep moving while I pull up some photos for it?
Yeah, perfect. So looking at the studio level at this resort, their deluxe studios will accommodate 4 people. And really, for a deluxe level, again, this is kind of along the same lines as what we were talking about with Saratoga. You're looking around $420 a night, which is not what you would typically think of as a deluxe price. With renting or using DVC, you're looking around $312 a night. So again, not a huge investment for a deluxe level. It is, as Kate I think mentioned already, the 3rd largest studios on property. So lots of space in these rooms, and you're getting a lot of space for a lower price at these ones as well.
Lem is saying Old Key West is considered a deluxe resort. It is. It is considered a deluxe resort. Mm-hmm.
I didn't decide it was. I'm just going with what I've been told by the Disney website. This is not
Disney
Kate and Jackie's list. This is Disney's list. They do have villas as well at Old Key West. They've got 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, and 3-bedroom villas. So 1-bedroom, you're going to look at 5 people that can stay, looking around $575 a night. The 2-bedroom villas, you're looking at 9 people that can stay there, and the average of about $842 a night. And then your 3-bedroom villas, which can accommodate 12 people, that's where you see that price jump. You're looking at $2,400 a night in those 3-bedroom villas. So quite a significant difference between
price jump.
the 2 and 3-bedroom for those extra people. You're better off renting a 1 and a 2 together than a 3. So
yeah, you have
keep that in mind.
I know, and I think if I was going to rent a 3-bedroom, I'm not sure Old Key West would be my first choice.
Yeah,
personally,
right.
If I was going to splurge on that, yeah. So.
Yeah, maybe not. So I have to make that. And yeah, Kirk is saying those prices aren't bad for a huge group. Yeah, no, they're really not that bad over here.
Yeah, Leb's asking if you can walk from Old Key West to Port Orland since they're across the street. That's a great question. I've never tried it.
I'm not sure.
I imagine you could, right? Just be careful crossing the street.
Lem, is that what you ran into on the Magical Race Day? I feel like he's asking that question purposefully.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. I don't know. We'll see.
I could be wrong, but I believe there was some issues he had walking from Old Key West. I feel like he had issues and he got he got stuck there, I believe, during the
The
magical
answer is you
race
cannot.
day. See, that's what I thought. I was like, I feel like he got stuck there.
I'm so gullible. I'm like, I think every question, I'm like, oh yeah, that's a real question. I see you. I see you.
Yeah, see, everyone in my
Okay.
chat is calling him out.
Let's walk in the rain and couldn't. Okay.
Okay.
Oh gosh.
Continuing on. Oh my god. Lem is just bent on distracting us this evening.
For those of you who don't know Lem, his name is Magic Bands and Trash Cans. Is what he goes by. He's a great streamer and he's a good friend of ours, so
Yes.
we're good.
We'll allow it for now.
Yes.
Until it gets out of hand, and then we will no longer allow it. Just
Stick
kidding,
Lem. It's fine.
Features of Old Key West. Food options. You've got 4 different options on the resort property there. They've got 4 different pools. Amenities you're looking at kind of standard. They've got one of those community halls, which again, I just think is kind of a fun option if that's something that interests you in these resorts. Bikes and Surrey bikes, exercise rooms, fishing, tennis, basketball, volleyball. And they've got a spa and fitness center as well there. So that is something fun. Again, transportation, buses, 5 stops.
Lots
boat
of
to
buses.
Disney Springs. So
Again,
again,
I feel like it's moderate level.
Hi, Amanda.
You can see how big it is too.
yeah,
Lots of walking.
yeah, absolutely,
Not,
lots of walking.
not as big as Caribbean Beach, but still
Yeah,
big resort.
yes, right. So yeah, you're gonna have again golf course views and all that you could see when Kate showed up held up
Sorry.
the photo.
Here.
No, you're fine. Of that, you can see the golf course runs right down through the middle. And then, yeah, they've got the boat to Disney Springs as well. So again, buses, you got to decide what you're doing about buses if you're going to be staying at Old Key West as well. And then,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was just going to say, as far as best rooms and kind of looking at that, again, from touring plans, the quietest area is going to be building 46 or 45. So those are going to be your 2 options if you're wanting quiet around you. If you're looking at close to food or close with the lake and golf course view, building 13.
Good old 13. Lucky number.
I know, apparently. So Matthew, building 13 if you want to be close to the food and have a nice view. There you go. That could be your request.
Jean Morris, how are things at Shades of Green? Staying there for first time, 27th of November. I don't think we actually included Shades of Green in this week. We might have to include that for next week because I actually have never stayed there because it's a military resort. So, but we can definitely do some research and we'll add that into next week's episode for sure.
Yes.
So.
Perfect. So those 2, Old Key West and Saratoga Springs, are your 2 kind of Disney Springs area deluxe resorts that we're going to hit on in this episode. And I think moving along now to the Animal Kingdom area.
Yeah. Before we do, yes. Kirk says Conch Flats is a free tour on Old Key West property that tells the history of the town. So that's a little extra context and history there. Moving on to Animal Kingdom Lodge, which there are 2. I've stayed at both Jumbo House and Kidani. I've stayed at both, so I have lots of knowledge about this one. It opened in 2001, at least the original Animal Kingdom Lodge, and then they added Kidani later. Around the lodge, there are 3 total 11-acre savannas. Sunset Savannah, Arusha Savannah, and Uzima Savannah, I think is how you pronounce that, housing a variety of African and Asian mammals, reptiles, and birds. They say over 200 hoofed animals, and then lots and lots of kinds of birds. So lots and lots of animals, and it's just a gorgeous resort. And I have a lot of information about it. Why don't I pull up some pictures while you talk about pricing, and then we'll talk a little bit more about amenities.
Perfect. Okay, so lots of different options here as far as the setup of the room. So you've got your standard rooms that will, some of them will sleep 2, some of them will sleep 4. Looking around average $600 a night is what you're going to be looking at for kind of the standard rooms. You've got deluxe studios, which will accommodate 4 people. And depending on your view, you're going to look at 600 to 900 a night. So
Yeah.
that's one of the big things you will find at this resort is I'm going to give you some ranges and kind of some different options, but yeah, exactly. Look at those views. And you're going to pay if some, extra if you want to have those views. So again, those
From
deluxe
your room.
studios.
Yeah.
Yep. Deluxe
Yeah.
studios, 600 to 900 a night. Now with DVC, if you're looking at a studio at Animal Kingdom Lodge, you're looking around 468 a night. So definitely a savings there as well, like we've been talking about with those DVC prices. The villas at Animal Kingdom Lodge will sleep anywhere from 5 to 12 people. And you're going to look at an average of they start just over 1,000, about 1,045 a night, all the way up through 1,600 a night and more. So depending again on the setup of your room and the views that you have and those types of things. So there are 1-bedroom villas that will sleep 5, 2-bedroom villas that will sleep 9. Couple different configurations with those on the Jumbo house
yeah,
side.
I can show those ones.
Perfect. I'll
Yeah.
give the info, then you can show them. The Jumbo
go
house
for it.
sides, they've got 2 bathrooms in their villas. They're 2-bedroom villas, and on the Kidani side, they've got 3 bathrooms. So a little bit different there if
Yeah.
you're looking at different floor plans.
So this is Jumbo house, and you can see in the 2 corners on this side over here. No, this is flipped. I can't do it. No, go away. You can see that there's two bathrooms. So this is the 2-bedroom in Jumbo house, and then the 2-bedroom in Kidani is the one that has 3. And honestly, if you have a family, have 3 bathrooms. Do yourself a favor. If you're staying in a 2-bedroom with 9
Right.
people,
Right.
have 3 bathrooms. So
Yep.
you can see there's a difference. And this is where we should probably also talk about the difference between a lock-off 2-bedroom and a dedicated 2-bedroom. So if you see this one is a dedicated 2-bedroom, that means they designed this to be a 2-bedroom suite, which you can see that there in one of the rooms has 2 full queen beds. And then there's a full kitchen in the middle with a bathroom. And the other side is a queen or a king suite with a master bath, which is huge, by the way. So that is what we say a dedicated lock-off. They designed it to be a 2-bedroom room. Now they have something else. This is a little fuzzy. Sorry. This is a 2-bedroom lock-off, which means they have a studio room attached to a 1-bedroom, and there's a lock-off door that they unlock and they leave open for you to have a essentially 2-bedroom. But you see, one of the biggest differences is the balcony. You can see is divided, and also the bed is a pull-out couch versus a queen. So and also the kitchen, I feel like, is a little bit smaller in this one.
Not as much
So-
floor space with the kitchen.
Yeah. So if I had a choice, I would always, always, always pick a dedicated 2-bedroom over a lock-off if you're going to do that. And I do have some people asking, like, wait, rooms are cheaper at certain times. When is this? So in the off season versus the high season, it's always going to be cheaper. So if you're going when everybody else is going, it's going to be more expensive. And it also is, so that's what we're talking about, prices fluctuating. And also there is a significant savings to rent DVC for this one in particular. So much so that you can probably afford that upgrade to a Savannah View, which I say if you're going to stay at Animal Kingdom Lodge and you are a resort person, I'd say upgrade to Savannah View 100%. There are, however, what we call secret Savannah rooms. At least I call them secret Savannah rooms, which are rooms in Jumbo House, not Kidani. Kidani doesn't really have these because it's only like you're either facing the parking lot or you're facing the animals. That's all you've got at Kidani. But Jumbo House has a lot of them because of the way it's designed. I'll show you this map. If you see all these rooms, let me get it all hidden here for you. You can see a lot of the rooms that are standard rooms still look out over some type of Savannah, okay? So a lot of them, they don't designate them as Savannah rooms, but they do end up being a view of animals. So I stayed in one of these with Elliot, with my husband, and this was our secret standard priced room but it was not a Savannah view room. But as you can see, we still saw animals.
Yeah.
Now, was a view as lovely as my other room? No, because it has usually that they say they look over the people pens.
Yeah.
So you can see like that round circle is called, they call it the people pen. But this was our view. I mean, it's not a bad view. I will take that
No.
view any day. And we
Right.
only paid for a standard price. So if you want to roll the dice, try staying in Jumbo House with a standard view, but then request. What did I say to request? I put it on here. That wasn't gonna. You can request the Sunset Savannah or Arusha for Savannah View, but for a partial Savannah View room that's in the standard level, ask for the Kudu Trail. That's what you want to ask for. You're taking notes.
Perfect.
Ask for the Kudu Trail.
There you go.
And in Kidani, if we're talking room views in Kidani, like I said, if the rooms you really request, almost all the Savannah View rooms are great. All of the standard rooms are not so great view wise. So I would pick always asking for a room that's closer to the lobby, because you can walk like an extra 10 minutes down those hallways. They're very long. So I can show you a picture of why. This is what it looks like. And if you have a room all the way at the end there, it's a very long
That is a
walk.
long walk. And it's not like you can just cut through the Savannah outside to get there.
No.
You got to walk through the hallway.
It's very long to the end, and I have stayed at the end because that happens. So
Yes,
Yeah.
it does. Yes,
and
it
out of the two resorts, I do have some more pictures. This is Jumbo House in the lobby. It's just spectacular. I think a lot of the great restaurants are in Jumbo House, but Kidani I think is a little bit more family friendly. Not only because you have some of those rooms that have the extra bathroom, it's smaller in general, so you don't have to walk as far. It's got I kind of just prefer Kidani for family. I had another reason, I'm trying to remember why, but I would probably pick Kidani if I was going with my littles personally, but either one. They're both gorgeous resorts, and I'd highly recommend them for families in general, because the animals, waking up to see a giraffe out your window, that's a memory that they'll remember forever.
Absolutely.
The pool's
Yeah.
better at Jumbo than Kidani, but you can use either pool at either resort if you stay there. So sorry, I just talked a lot.
No, you're good. You're good. I'm just going to hop back a little, make sure we've covered everything here.
Yeah, sorry,
they
I totally went ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. They do have club level options for all of the configurations as well. You're looking at, again, I was mentioning that in the standard rooms, some of the standard rooms will only sleep two, because if you request the king standard rooms, you're just going to get one king bed. So you're only going to sleep two in those.
Yeah.
So they do come in at one king or two queen. And this is pretty standard across all of the deluxe options as well. In the studios, you're looking at one queen and one double. And then once you get into the villas, as like Kate was just showing, you're looking at different configurations with pull downs and with kings and queens and all that kind of stuff. So definitely, like Kate was saying, look at those floor plans. So that way you have an idea of, okay, who is going to sleep where? How are we all going to fit? What is the best configuration for my kids, for myself, for whatever it may be?
This is a 1-bedroom. So you can see there's a kitchen, and there's, this one's great for families because you can put your kids in one room and then you can sleep in the other if you feel comfortable with that, depending on their ages. But, that there's options there for being up later than the kids, which I think is always really nice as a parent.
Yes. Yeah. If you've got stuff you want to get done, or you're just not ready to go to bed yet, or whatever it may be.
The studio.
I was gonna say the studio rooms even still have the kitchenette with a small fridge and a microwave, and then a balcony as well. So even at that studio level, you're still going to get that. In the villas, you're going to get 2 bathrooms, 3 bathrooms, full kitchen, living and dining space. The villas have that washer and dryer along with their balcony. So all sorts of good amenities in those setups as well.
We have a lot of people asking about club level and what's involved with that.
So I don't have a ton of information on that, Kate. If you know, or if not,
I've never gotten to stay club level.
No, I have not either.
I feel like I don't want to give all the wrong information. So if any of you guys have stayed club level and know, let us know. I know it doesn't usually involve, there's a room where there's free food available, like most of the time, and a couple other amenities. But I have not stayed club level, so
I have not either.
feel free to chime in, all our club level friends. Lem, where are you? You've got to know
Right?
about this.
Where's Lemuel at? Thank you, Rhonda, for the black cat and the vampires. You're so kind. Okay, so basically, yeah, most
Club
importantly, it
level.
gives.
Oh, he chimed in. Free
Okay, go
food.
ahead, Lem.
Club level has free food and beer, concierge check-in, and essentially a private floor. That's right. The private floor part is the one I couldn't remember.
Yeah,
Thank you,
say
Lem, for
access
chiming
to
in there.
a lounge with small food servings throughout the day.
I knew there was food involved. That's I was
Concierge.
like, that sounds great. They have
Yeah.
breakfast and lunch served throughout the day and private concierges. So, the bougie level.
Yeah. Exactly.
I aspire to club level someday.
I will probably never get there, but you know, a girl can
Girl
dream.
can dream. I love
Yep.
that.
Something like that. Something like that. Yep. So that's what we were just talking about. Club level basically means you get some extra perks along with your stay, including some free food and possibly drinks, and just kind of access to some additional cast members, essentially with concierge and things like that that you have. So
You
it's
get
quite
treated
a
extra
price.
special.
Yeah. And it is quite a price difference. I didn't, again, when we were going through all of this, it's already a lot of information. I did not break down every single little individual room level
I
and
know we'd be here all night.
adjustment and club level and non-club level and all of that. So if you need help doing that, just send us a message. We can help you, or, you know, contact a travel agent or whatever you may choose to do with that. But so a lot of these prices that I'm giving you are not club level prices, but when you look on the Disney website, you can see the difference between the standard and the club level. A couple $100 usually per night that you're looking at difference from what I was seeing within my research that I was doing for all of this.
Yeah, and I'll also say another really great thing about Animal Kingdom lodges specifically, just hopping back into that, is they have these outdoor viewing areas. So even if you're not staying at Animal Kingdom Lodge, it's worth a trek over there, especially if you're going to get lunch or something at Boma. It would be to go out and see all of the animals. They have it. You don't have to stay there to go do that. See, they have an area you can walk out and look at all of the animals. And there's also at night, this is one of my favorite parts of the resort, is they have these like fire pits where you can sit out on the savannah in these rocking chairs and just like enjoy the fire.
So pretty.
Very peaceful.
Yeah.
Gorgeous, gorgeous resort. And they also have artisans that they bring in that will do demonstrations in the lobby. So you'll see someone doing carvings they're native to some of the countries in Africa, or they'll do some sort of other crafting and things like that. So and then throughout all the lobbies and the hallways, they have traditional art and artifacts and crafts and things. So you can see, you really get the feel of like I'm in Africa in a lot of ways. It's very, very authentically done. And it's a beautiful resort. I always like to say it's the resort when you want going back to your resort to be like going to another world, like you're going to almost like another park in a way, because you feel like you're immersed in the theming. Animal Kingdom Lodge is definitely the way to go for that.
Yeah,
it's gorgeous.
Absolutely. I'm just going to run down a couple more stats about the resort to make sure we hit everything. Food options you mentioned briefly. Boma is there, Sanaa, which are two of the big kind of names that you're familiar with, probably hearing, those of you who know a little bit about Disney dining. But there are 9 total options across the resort that you have for food. 2 different pools. One is closer to basically each section has their own pool. So one is closer to Jambo House, one is closer to Kidani Village as far as those go. Kate mentioned some of the amenities with the demonstrations, the arts and craft displays, wildlife viewing areas, and the fire pits. They've got a spa and fitness center, you know, kind of the standard stuff that you're going to see, but then a couple little bonus ones at that resort. Transportation is just bus. So
Only
if you're
bus.
going, if you're going
Downside.
anywher from Animal Kingdom Lodge, you are going to have to take a bus.
So there's just one bus stop for all of the
Yay.
resorts. So you like, now we're getting in the level where there's just one bus stop. And I feel like the buses do seem to come a little bit more frequently to some of these deluxe resorts. Might just be my imagination, but from having stayed at the value versus having stayed at the moderate, and like I've stayed all levels, and I feel like they send buses a little more frequently to the deluxe resorts. Which makes sense. I mean, price-wise, if you're looking, if you're paying those prices. So
Right.
but
Right.
they're still
It totally
buses.
makes sense. Well, and I feel like when you leave the parks, the deluxe resorts are always the closest bus stops whenever you're going out to the bus stops. So
Not always. Sometimes, but not
true,
always.
true. Not
Yeah,
always,
I've
but
had some that are like way down there. I'm like, what the
and
heck?
you're like, why? Why?
I'm like, why is
You
movies
know.
over here? And I have to. it's my bouginess talking. I'm like, what the heck? Hey, I'm staying at Pop Century in January, so don't come at me.
So as far as best rooms for Animal Kingdom Lodge, Kate mentioned a little bit of this before. So lower floors if possible.
Yeah, closer to the animals if you're on lower floors. So that's you can't do that if you're staying in DVC in Jumbo House. It's only like 5th floor, so you can't stay DVC in Jumbo House and get a low floor. So take that into account if you're going to rent DVC points or staying DVC. But yeah, the lower floor, the closer the animals. I don't necessarily like the first floor. I kind of like the second. Seems like a good like eye level with the giraffe is what you're going for.
Just feed the giraffe off your balcony, you know.
Yeah.
It's good.
They don't get that close. Some of the
Right,
birds get
right.
a lot closer, but the giraffes, they have a little
See,
kind of those little fence
That's
thingies.
the one thing that would stop me from staying there. I don't do birds.
They have little like birds. Yeah.
I don't do birds.
Oh no. I don't do spiders, but they're not everywhere like
Yeah,
that.
I don't do birds. I'll just
gosh.
watch from the inside, and my kids and my husband can stand on the balcony.
How do you survive Animal Kingdom? You just
Carefully,
careful.
strategically, so that I'm
How about
not
Kevin?
passing
How are
by
your feelings about
any.
Kevin?
I'm not bothered by Kevin. Kevin's okay. Kevin's okay. But I avoid what is it, feathered friends in flight or whatever.
Flight.
That
I love that
yeah.
show.
I
Fraser
have
Crane.
watched it on lives before. But it's literally gotten to the point where if I'm watching Kirk, he will warn me before he goes to a bird show, and I will just leave the stream, and then someone will come get me when it's done because Pocket Fam
I don't
knows
know how I
that
didn't
I
notice
don't
that. That's
like
so
birds.
funny. Gosh.
Yeah, I know, Rhonda. I know you're one of the bird lovers, and I just can't do it. I just
I
can't
like
do
birds.
it.
But I
I
understand.
just can't do it. Tour guide Barbie is in here saying, my guests yesterday waited almost an hour at 8 a.m. for a bus to Hollywood Studios from the Grand Floridian.
See, it's not always. Well, actually, that
Yeah.
is a thing because because they're all at one bus stop. If you're hitting it right at the time when everybody's trying to get there to go, I have waited for a very long time at those deluxe resorts for buses from the resort itself. So if you
Yeah.
don't hit it at the right time, you might end up waiting for a long time. That's just
Right.
a downside
Yeah.
of buses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Kristen, I can't do Winged Encounter either. I can't. Again, I've watched it on the live once just to say that I did it, and now I don't do it anymore.
Maggie
Nope.
said, "Did you ever
Nope.
watch the horror movie The Birds?" I'm guessing no.
No,
I'm guessing that's
I
not
have
on
not.
your list.
No.
I think it's like an
no.
Alfred Hitchcock
We
movie.
go to the zoo all the time. I avoid aviaries at all costs. I can't. I think my fear stems from a family trip to San Antonio and to the Riverwalk, and there are so many birds because like all of the
yeah.
seating is like outdoors there when
Yeah.
you like eat dinner and stuff.
Oh.
And there are just too many birds. I can't do
Poor
with them
Jacque.
flying over my head. I just, nope.
Alessia asks, how long does it take to get an Uber, like from resort to park? And that really depends. Yeah, it depends on the park. It depends on what resort, because some of these, like Animal Kingdom Lodge is an Animal Kingdom resort, so it's not going to take. It's just going to take a couple minutes to pop over there to Animal Kingdom. But if you're talking to Magic Kingdom, that's really far, so it's going to take a little bit longer.
Animal Kingdom of the areas, kind of Animal Kingdom seems to be the furthest one out for most places that you're looking for.
Yeah.
And you also want to be careful about Ubering because a lot of like you got to look at where they're going to drop you off to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Barbie
they
is in
can't
here.
get into
Don't
the
Uber.
resort.
Yeah. Do not Uber to MK. Yeah. Don't take an Uber to Magic Kingdom because they still drop you off at the TTC. And that's just still an extra hoop you have to jump through. So
Yeah.
keep that in mind.
Yeah. So
Again.
not always a great option. So
Yes,
if you're not into the
exactly.
buses, you might just want to think about renting a car. That might be your best option if you're at one of these resorts that is a bus resort. There, we're
Yes.
going to talk about a few of the ones that have other options besides buses, which that's all we've had so far. So
Right.
I think that was
Exactly.
it for Animal Kingdom. Yeah.
Yes.
And we
Yep.
will also, I'll mention, guys, that eventually we will do some more shows about restaurants because I know
Yeah.
that the restaurants at Animal Kingdom are one of the biggest reasons people go there. And me too. Like, I love the restaurants there, but we're just trying to talk general resort. So we're going to breeze by. Look at you.
Thank you,
So cute.
Rhonda. My little crown.
So
That was
adorable.
so cute. All right, let's move here closer to Magic Kingdom and talk about the Magic Kingdom area resorts for deluxe. Starting with Wilderness Lodge, which I feel like of the deluxe around the Magic Kingdom area is the one that gets forgotten about most often. People forget that it is there. So
Yeah, I know.
let's talk about
It's hidden.
Wilderness Lodge, which includes a couple different villa areas, so Boulder Ridge Villas, Copper Creek Villas, and the cabins over there as well.
So this is in, like we said, the Magic Kingdom Resort area, and it opened in 1994. It's modeled after the atmosphere of the national parks, like I mentioned in the previous episode. It reminds you of the Western United States, which is where I'm located. So I don't really stay there because it feels like going home instead of going on vacation. But it's beautiful, beautiful resort. It features both natural and Native American elements. The main building was modeled after the Old Faithful Inn in Yellowstone, and it is fairly accurate. Like, I walked in and I was like, this feels familiar. And I'd never been to the Wilderness Lodge, but I'd been to Old Faithful a couple times. An artificial geyser and hot springs are located on the resort grounds, which also brings in those Yellowstone vibes. The resort has 8 floors of lodgepole pines imported from Oregon. Sorry. Yay,
Yay!
Oregon. As almost all of the evergreen trees that they import onto the East Coast, like the tree that goes into the White House is often from Oregon or Washington, and same with Rockefeller Center. So a little
Yeah.
side trivia for you. Um, Oregon trees.
Hooray!
And then they have, as well as a 55-foot authentic totem poles, and they have an 82-foot fireplace that represents the colorful rocks of the Grand Canyon. So those like layered strata of the Grand Canyon. And then, oh yeah, why don't we talk about? I'll get to Boulder Ridge Villas. Should I talk about that now, or should we? While I'm
Yeah, go ahead. Go
okay.
ahead.
So if we're doing Boulder Ridge Villas, itself is themed after lodgings that were built by workers with the Transcontinental Railroad in the late 19th century. So the main building for the villas has a lot of railroad artwork and memorabilia. But my favorite part about it is it has 2 train cars from Walt Disney's miniature Carolwood Pacific Railroad that was in his backyard.
Until I read that on your notes, I had no idea. That is such a fun little detail. How cool.
Yes. And they have, so I have a picture of it, but they have also a train car outside that's modeled after that railroad car, Pacific car that's inside. So let me find the actual cars. The rest of that train from Walt Disney, by the way, if you ever want to go see it and you're in San Francisco, it's in the Walt Disney Family Museum. The actual one that was in his backyard is there, and you can even see the little pads where he would sit, like that are on top of the train. It was just the best thing ever.
I was so excited on your live when you went to that museum and you showed us that. I was so excited. Even though it was on a screen the entire United States away from where I am, it was still really cool.
I know. I did. I like teared up when I saw the train. So here's what it looks like inside the Copper Canyon. Is that what it's called? Copper Village. I can't. Gosh. Boulder Ridge. This one's in Boulder Ridge.
Yeah, Boulder Ridge.
So this is the Carolwood Pacific car that's in that. And then I have, oh gosh, the car that's on the outside looks like this and has 749, which echoes that car that's on the inside from the Carolwood Pacific.
Very cool.
So, yeah. Do you want to chat out some of the other things? And I'll just find some pictures and put them up while she's chatting so you guys can see what this looks like.
So let's talk about a couple different room configurations here. So you're looking at a lot of the same options that we've been talking about. Standard rooms that are going to sleep 2 to 4 people, average starting at $650 a night. It goes up from there depending again on views and things like that, because at this resort you have several different options for views. You've got kind of water views, you've got park views, so a little bit of everything kind of here. In the studios, their studios will sleep 4 to 5 depending on the configuration. And you're looking at an average of $645 a night. And then they've got
Sticker shock.
for a studio, $645 a night. And then they've got the 3 different makeups of the villas. So a 1-bedroom villa is going to sleep 4 people, and you're looking at $1125 a night for a 1-bedroom villa. The 2-bedroom
Unless you rent
villa.
DVC. Rent DVC, my friends.
Yep, and that's where we're getting here. The 2-bedroom villas, which will sleep 8 people, will average you $2,200 a night. But if you're renting DVC or using DVC, looking about $900 a night. So a massive
difference.
saving there as you're looking at pricings for that. And then the 3-bedroom villas, which will sleep 12 people. These are one of the highest prices, looking around $3,572 a night. So,
Oh my gosh. It's definitely like split it with some other families,
Right,
like,
right.
because they're big enough where you can.
Yes, and those 3-bedroom villas, I should mention, just for your all of your information, will only exist on the Copper Creek side. They do not exist on the Boulder Ridge side. So if you're looking at villas and have a desire to be on Boulder Ridge, you're not going to be able to get a 3-bedroom villa on that side. Allie says, I have villa taste on an all-stars budget. Yep, I feel that.
Me too.
Yep. Yep, exactly.
It's a good map. And you can see that the Boulder Ridge is the red roof down there. And then the main lodge is the green roof.
So that gives you an
can see the
idea of
pool.
where the 2 sections are.
There's not a lot of pools here compared to a lot of other resorts. It's just
No,
like the
2
main
pools.
one with a splash pad. They have like a splash
Yep.
pad too for
Yep.
kids.
Yep, exactly. Now, there are cabins here that will sleep 8 people. And those cabins are going to run $3,900 a night. So
For 8
again,
people. You could
Yep.
split, like if you had a good family or another family in your family or friends, that you feel comfortable traveling with, splitting it might make it a little bit more affordable. That's what we do when we do the 2-bedroom ones is we go with multiple family members and then we have 3 rooms so we can kind of split the
divide
cost.
out. Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, we do that even at the value suite level. We usually split them.
I mean, some of those value suites are expensive. Just saying.
They are expensive in comparison for what you could be getting at other resorts at that price. But yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Wilderness is gorgeous resort though.
Yes,
Gorgeous.
absolutely beautiful.
It definitely is another one of those where you feel like you're getting away from it all
Yeah,
at Disney.
yeah. Yes, Allie, $3,900 a night for those cabins, and $3,500 a night for the 3-bedroom villa. So again, remember, we have entered deluxe resort territory here. We started off a little nicer with the Disney Springs ones, but we are into the heavy hitters now.
Yes. This is like my splurge vacation, or for some
Yeah.
of us, it's like just your price range. We all
Yeah.
have different
Right.
lives, so
Which-
different tax
Good
brackets.
on you. Exactly.
If I was in that
Right.
tax bracket, I would be staying at all these places all the time, and I
Right.
do when I rent.
Yeah. Right, exactly. Amanda brings up a good point. Some of the grand villas are over 2,000 square feet. So you're definitely getting a good size for what you're paying. But whether or not it's in your budget, that's a whole nother
Yeah.
configuration. So let's talk about kind of some of the features in the rooms. In your studio rooms, you are still going to get a kitchenette with a small fridge and a microwave, and you're going to get a balcony, which is a nice touch to have. And then at the villa level, the number of bathrooms is going to match the number of bedrooms. So 1 bedroom is going to give you 1 bathroom, all the way up to 3. A 3-bedroom villa is going to give you 3 bathrooms in the room. So
Right.
that's something to consider if you're traveling as a family and you want those extra bedrooms. If you're debating about size between a 1 and a 2 or a 2 and a 3, something to consider.
And a lot of those DVC properties, those layouts that I showed you that were for Animal Kingdom, a lot of them are very similar. Like almost a lot of the DVC properties are similar. There's a couple exceptions in a couple resorts, but by and large, they're mostly almost identical in a lot of the DVC ones. They just kind of like copy and paste. So
Yeah.
those room layouts don't differ that much. They
Right.
some slightly.
Yeah. So in those villas, you're going to get the full-size kitchen, the living and dining room areas, washer and dryer, and, a porch or balcony, whatever you want to call it. But some way to look out on your whatever view you have been graciously given by the Disney resort gods.
This is what the cabins look like. I had
And then,
the
yep.
cabins. It's really nice. Like, if I was gonna be in one of those, I probably would say like spend a lot of time in my cabin, just relaxing and enjoying it. And also because wilderness, the campgrounds are nearby and they have all those activities. I'm pretty sure you can do all of the archery and all the other things that we talked about at Fort Wilderness. I'm pretty sure they're connected.
So, but while we're chatting about it, let me double check to make sure we're giving you guys proper information.
Yeah.
So we'll continue to talk and let me check on that for you guys. 5 different food options at this resort. They do have a couple kind of noteworthy ones. Storybook dining at Artist Point with Snow White is here. So getting into character meals as an option at your resort. So that one is there. And then
It's really
also
hard to get dining reservations for that, though. I have not seen them
yeah.
ever. Like every time I look, I'm like, even like
They're just
to the
not
second,
there.
when it opens, it's just not there.
Yeah.
So that one's hard to get.
Definitely hard to get. And then Whispering Canyon is here as well. So if that is something that interests you, you can find it here.
Lem says when he worked there, he got a chance to roll around on the floor and can confirm it's nice.
Okay.
Maybe I missed that in context. I'm like, what am I missing? Are you talking about
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not really sure.
Allie says, I heard that Lem will sometimes rent out his home, the Cinderella Suite. Wouldn't surprise me if he lived there.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so I didn't find anything specifically about the shared amenities. So,
Well, I know that
know?
the buses are shared. I know that you can take I think they connect them as a resort area because I know the buses, you can take a bus kind of like back and forth from the two. So I'm pretty sure that they share amenities, but we're not 100% on that. So just take that for what it is. In terms of transportation, it is mostly bus transportation at this resort, which I think is the biggest downside. I feel like, couldn't they have figured out a way to add a spur to the monorail or something? Just like it's so close to the monorail, but it's not on the monorail line, which is a huge downside for me.
Yes.
But it does have a boat that goes to Magic Kingdom, which is actually a really beautiful ride as long as it's not super
it's a nice
crowded.
ride. I have done that before.
Yeah, it's really nice. But as long as there's no big lines, there might be big lines to get on it at the end of the day, especially. So, just remember that timing.
Yeah. Well, and I know too, talking about shared buses, the buses, I did see on according to the Disney website, that the buses are shared with the Contemporary here.
Yes.
So they are shared buses. So keep that in mind as well as you're planning accordingly.
And you can't, oh no, just kidding. Never mind.
A couple other things about amenities. They do have kind of, the standard. They've got the health club, they've got fishing, they've got a salon there, which is kind of a nice feature to have. And the other thing is, and we will talk about this with the next couple resorts, is they do have viewing for the electrical water pageant. So if you are a fan of that, it does come by kind of on a schedule. That would be something you can definitely ask at the front desk or oh, look at the picture. Cute. So if that's something that you're interested in, be sure to check that out as well. And a lot of the rooms from the resort, you'll be able to see it. So take that for what it's worth.
And for those of you who don't know what the electrical water pageant is, well, it's got a lot of history, but that's where we get the song from. The Main Street Electrical Parade originally came from the electrical water pageant, and it's a show that they roll out onto the water that just kind of like drifts by with music and light up characters, and I feel like it's nostalgic for a lot of people who've seen it a lot of years, but it also feels nostalgic even if you've never seen it, because it kind of brings you back to an era where like this was like high tech.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it's lovely. It's a lovely little touch,
yeah.
and I'm glad that it's still around, even though it's
Yeah.
like it's not like yeah, it's not high tech in any way.
Yeah.
But
It's
it's
one
really
of
fun.
the only memories that I have from my very first trip that I went to Disney. And we stayed at the Poly, and I vividly remember just like every night trying so hard to stay awake to make it to when it would come. And the room that we had faced the water. So trying so hard to make it and to stay up. And I think I was 5, probably.
Aw,
And I remember just like
5-year-old
every night I
Jackie at
would,
the
I know,
Poly.
I know. And like every night I would fall asleep and I would wake up devastated the next morning, like I didn't watch it. I couldn't make it. And so the
Life goals.
last, I know, right? The last night I fell asleep, but my parents woke me up whenever it came by. That way I wouldn't miss it on our last night there. So that was just like, that's literally one of the only memories that I have of that trip is just, but I can vividly remember crying about not being able to stay awake long enough.
Wow, memories.
I
Maybe
know.
not great ones.
I know. It turned out okay. We're good. We're good. We're good.
Now you've seen it many times, right?
Yes,
So,
yes, yes. Yeah, Kathy says I saw it 43 years ago. Kathy, that's pretty incredible.
oh, see,
How fun. Yeah.
memories.
Yeah.
So I think I don't know if there's more that you have, but I think one of the last things was some of the best rooms
Yep.
that we had. It looks like the better rooms are on floors 4, 5, and 6 towards the V's open end from Touring Plans again. Good
Yes.
recommendation.
So when
there.
we were looking at that configuration, you're going to want to get towards the open end. A lot of what I was reading about kind of placement at this resort is that the centrally located stuff can be very noisy. So that's why they were saying kind of going more towards the end on this one, because then you won't get kind of that residual noise from the lobby area. And it's still not too far away. It's close to the pool. It's not too far away from the main building anyway. So they were saying towards the end of the V's.
Right, which you can see there. The
Yep.
V.
Yes, exactly.
Maybe also partial water views too, depending on where you're at.
Yes, I think so too. Probably your best views are going to be on that end. Especially if you're on that end that's facing kind of towards the parks, you can see kind of partial park views on the one side as well.
Right. That's great.
Yeah. So that, in a nutshell, is Wilderness Lodge. Let's continue around.
I'm glad we're not
Magic
actually
Kingdom.
physically running to all of these. We would be so tired.
They are not
Thanks,
close.
No,
Oh, you
they're not
got
at
a
all.
little
It would
crown
take a
too.
while.
Yay. It would take
We're
a
like,
while.
let's
It
hop in the
would.
car, Jackie. Let's go.
I know.
This.
But wouldn't that also be really entertaining?
Yes.
I feel
oh
like-
my gosh, that would be the best live if we just like ran to all the.
It would be a good time. It would be a good time.
Maybe someday. Put that on our bucket
Someday.
list.
I know. Well, considering we still haven't even met in person,
I know.
we
Crazy.
probably should make that happen sometimes. And why not
Someday.
at Disney? Like, where else are we going to go? We have to go to Disney.
Right.
We'll make it
Oh,
happen.
gosh.
It's going to happen. All right, continuing around the Magic Kingdom area, let's head over to the Contemporary Resort and Bay Lake Tower, which
Yeah.
is also in that same resort area.
Yeah, and it's one of the original resorts that opened with the Magic Kingdom in 1971. So the Contemporary Tower, which is the one you think of when you're, I'll pull up pictures in a second. The ones you think of when you think of the Contemporary, where the monorail goes through the center, that's called the Contemporary Tower. It's the most prominent of the resort's 3 standalone buildings, and was built as an A-frame with outer walls which slope inwards with an inner atrium. This design was a collaboration by Disney and the United States Steel Corporation. And to construct the building, the steel frames were erected on site, and they had modular pre-constructed rooms that they actually like lifted and like slid into the building.
That is one of
which
my
is-
favorite things to tell people. I don't know
I know,
why
it's
I love that
wild.
fact so much, but I literally just told it to my father-in-law when we were at Disney 2 weeks ago, because it's such a cool thing to think about. They literally
It is.
jigsaw puzzled it all together.
Yeah. And they also did the same for the Poly, which was built at the same time. So they built them the same way, prefab rooms that they slid in. But it's that the method of building really just caused a lot of problems in both the Poly and the Contemporary, because guests complained of a moldy smell in their rooms, which is so gross. And they found mold and debris had collected in the spaces between each room, like where they slid them in next to each other. And so the spaces were filled in, and that stopped the problem. So they didn't make any more buildings that way. So they were unique that they made them that way one time and then realized this is why we don't build this way.
This is why we're not doing it this way.
Another fun thing that came from happened at the Contemporary Resort was on November 17th, 1973. It was the site of what would become one of the most famous press conference statements in modern American politics, which is when President Nixon said, "I am not a crook." So that happened at the Contemporary Resort. And then I also love that the main A-frame area is called the Grand Canyon Concourse and has a beautiful mural by Mary Blair in it as well. Which I'll see if I can pull up a picture of it.
Multiple-sided mural. I think it's
multiple-sided mural.
Isn't it in a square?
Yeah.
Is it all 4 sides, or is it only 3 sides? I can never remember, because I know the monorail
it's 4.
Runs close to there.
I don't know. Let me look. I think it's 4. There's a good picture of it there. And you can see it's a Grand Canyon Concourse because of like the layers, like we just talked about at the Wilderness Lodge fireplace. So Grand Canyons in more than one resort for inspiration. You can see that Mary Blair mural there.
Yes. Very cool. So a couple different room options, again, kind of the same options that we've been talking about with the other deluxe resort options. I will say that these rooms are fairly newly refurbed. And they now have it's all like Incredibles, isn't it?
Incredibles. In the main, the ones that are in the main atrium for sure.
Yes.
I think they're working on renovating almost all of them in the main section.
So you're looking again at a standard room that's going to be able to sleep 5. And those rooms are going to run $700 to $900 a night, depending on the view. So you're either going to get basically park view or non-park view that's going to look over at some water and some parking lot.
I'm trying to find the map so you can see it.
Okay. And then they've also, so the standard rooms, so a little bit of parking lot, but mostly water if you're looking away from the park kind of on that map. And then go ahead, Kate.
You can see the monorail going through the main atrium there, which is that A-frame building we talked about. And then there's what are the ones called here? The garden suite rooms, I think is what they're called. The garden, it says on this map, South Garden Wing. The garden wing is the one that's down there that was added later. And then the Bay Lake Tower, which is the circular one up there, is the DVC properties.
Yes.
Which have a lot more water views.
Fairly new in comparison to the rest of the resort, at least I should say. So talking about those standard rooms, again, they will sleep 5 people, $700 to $900 a night, depending on which side of the building you're on and what type of a view you're going to be getting. They also have studios that will sleep 4 for around $900 a night. So in that similar kind of price range. They've got suite options there that will sleep 5 to 10, depending on configuration again. Those start at an average of $1,245 a night. So if you're looking at a smaller suite that will sleep 5, you're going to be starting at $1,245, and they go up from there. You guys have heard kind of where those prices land as we go up through those options there.
Yeah, there's a lot of room options at Contemporary.
Yeah.
When I was looking at that, it's like, it's not just, standard and king and, like garden. It's like, there's probably 20 different kinds of rooms.
Yeah.
Which really speaks to when it was built.
Yep. A lot of these will come with, some will come with club level, some will not. It'll be, park view or water view or the garden rooms or, so they have lots of little individual things that you can pick and choose from on the website. These are just kind of the broad categories that we're looking at here. And then they do have villas as well that will sleep 5 to 12. And the different views again are available there. See, look how pretty that water view is. Even if
super pretty.
You can't see the park from there, but It's still super pretty. So with the villas, you're looking again at 1, 2, or 3 bedroom villas. Your 1 bedroom villa is going to average you about $13.46 a night. But as Kate has informed me on our little cheat sheet here, if you are doing a DVC rental, you're looking at $7.77 a night. So again, a little more than half of the price if you're looking at DVC with that.
Yeah, I'm sorry that they're so random. I don't have a DVC for all of them.
No,
I was
that's
like,
fine.
it just would have taken me a long time. I was like, I'm going to just focus on photos. So
Yeah.
let's just build here and there. We'll have some DVC
Right.
options so you can just
Right.
get
Well,
an
and
idea.
it gives everyone an idea of kind of what we're looking at. Oh, Abby says that's the view that she had when she stayed there. Very cool. Nice.
How many Figment buckets will I have to sell to stay at the Contemporary?
Well, what room would you like at the
I know,
Contemporary?
it depends. What kind of view do you want?
Exactly. So 2 bedrooms there. Again, these are the villas. 2-bedroom villas are going to cost you around $2,400 a night. 3-bedroom villas, you're looking at $3,900 a night. So again, that's pretty standard for a lot of what we've seen with the deluxe resorts in those areas as far as price range goes. Similar amenities again at the studio level. You're getting that kitchenette with the fridge and the microwave and a porch balcony area space. With the suites and the villas, again, 1 bedroom is going to give you 1 bathroom, 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, etc. Full kitchen, living and dining areas, washer and dryer, and a balcony. So again, that similar setup like Kate was showing us back when we talked about Animal Kingdom Lodge, that's pretty much the setup you're going to see all the way through with the different makeups for the villas.
Yeah, and I will say, did we mention the pool yet? Did we get to the
Not
pool?
yet. We're getting there.
Sorry.
It's a lot of information.
Let's just talk about the pool real quick, and then
Yep.
we can go to food. Since
That's
I already
fine.
mentioned it, I'm like, this is awkward. I don't have a picture of the pool, unfortunately. I didn't pull one up, but the pool, I would say, is there's a lot less theming, like obvious theming at the Contemporary Resort, especially if you're looking for what's fun for the kids. I think the Incredibles rooms are really fun, especially if kids are really into Pixar or the Incredibles. But the pool itself doesn't have like a lot of the elaborate theming. It's still a pool. It's still fun. Your kids will still enjoy it if you go. But if you're like your kids, live and breathe for the pool and it's theming, this probably isn't the best option for that. So just
just one central pool for the whole resort.
one.
So
Yes, busy pool.
that's your option. So take it or leave it. That's your option that you have.
Lem says the garden view rooms need to be plowed down.
Wow.
Strong
Tell us how you
opinions.
really feel.
And the pool is straight up teal with light brown bricks. All of Contemporary is very, very modern. So it appeals to those who really appreciate that minimalist style. So it's there's Mickey's present, but it's a little bit more streamlined in design.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, exactly. So food options, lots of food options here, 10 different options across the resort. Here you can find Steakhouse 71, which is a popular one that a lot of people will seek out to go to, as well as California Grill. And they have Chef Mickey's character dining in the lobby of the Contemporary as well.
Yeah, and California Grill has that benefit also of having fireworks viewing. So
Yes.
even if you eat earlier, say you have a 5:30 reservation, you can come back and you can go out on their upper patio balcony area, and you can watch the fireworks from there, and they have the music and everything. So really, really gorgeous area to watch fireworks, and the food's really good. My husband and I ate there for an anniversary, I think, a while back, or a birthday, I can't remember. But the fireworks viewing is spectacular. So if you don't want to deal with all of the crowds, this might be another option for you, especially if you want a good meal attached to it. So
Yeah. And they pipe in the music, so that way you get kind of the full effect of the fireworks without having to be standing on Main Street, which is kind of a bonus if that's something that interests you. If you don't want to, like Kate said, be dealing with all the people.
yep. So
And then as far as other amenities, they do have cabana rentals, basketball, fishing, boat rentals, those types of things. You can do fireworks cruises from the Contemporary, which is something that is kind of fun, where they take you out on a boat to do firework viewing out from that area. They do have the electrical water pageant viewing there as well, and a fitness center for you to utilize if you so choose to.
Yep. And there's also, okay, sorry. I got distracted by all of Lem's comments. I'm starting to think about them in my head. He's not a big fan of the contemporary. So
Oh,
I will say
okay.
that the transportation, so you really can't be beat in terms of transportation on the monorail line is fantastic. And you also have the option of walking to Magic Kingdom, which like only that one and the Grand Floridian really are like the easiest ones to walk to
Yeah.
the Magic Kingdom. So if you really just don't mind walking a little bit more, or your babies are asleep in the stroller and you don't want to, well, you can roll them on the monorail. So I guess you don't
Yeah.
really need that. But
Yeah. Yeah.
if you really want to walk, that's a good option.
Yeah. Again, so reminder, you can take the monorail from there to Magic Kingdom and Epcot, but then you would be busing to the other two parks if that's where you choose to go. And something interesting that I saw was as I was looking at transportation, I was like, oh, they have a boat, but their boat goes to Fort Wilderness and the Wilderness Lodge. It doesn't go to a
Get a
park.
bus. Yeah, you probably have to
Yeah.
like get on the bus to go to the Contemporary, right?
Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
count that,
So,
but it's not really
but not, it
to the
doesn't get you to a
resort.
park. But I thought that was an interesting note that that's like one of the only instances of direct resort to resort transportation that you can take, which I just thought was interesting that that was an option that they had there. So I guess
Lynn
if you're,
says do not take the monorail from Contemporary to Magic Kingdom. I guess that's I don't know. I want to expand upon that. I feel like
does it
I
go the
would
other
do
way?
that.
I think it goes the other way. Like you don't go straight from the Contemporary to Magic Kingdom. I think it goes
Yeah.
around the loop the other way.
You have to go the other way. But if you
So
didn't
you're
want to walk, that's pretty
right.
much
You're
your
gonna,
option.
but you're gonna have to go through the Polynesian and the Grand Floridian before you make it to
Yeah.
Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, that makes sense that
So,
it goes the wrong way. I haven't
yeah.
stayed at the Contemporary. I've stayed at all the other ones on the monorail line, but not the Contemporary.
Yeah.
So,
I've taken the monorail from the Contemporary a lot because our first two trips that we took my kiddos, we did Chef Mickey's because it's a really good way to meet all of the characters. So I remember getting on the monorail being like, oh, this one goes this way, or, back to the TTC or wherever, you need to go from there. But yes, so pay attention to which way your monorails are going so you make sure you get on the
Yeah.
right one.
yeah, Lem says it's 45-minute ride with all the stops. A lot of people are saying no more express, and they learn the hard way to take that. So it sounds like not a great option to depend on the monorail to get to Magic Kingdom at least. But
Yeah. And
Epcot.
again, like Kate mentioned, the walk is really not that far, especially if it's like first thing in the morning. Now that walk at the end of the night, different story. But again, at the end of the night, you're going the right way. So
yeah,
decide
it would be
what
worth
you
it at
so
the end of
choose
the
to
night
do.
to walk to your resort is such a huge bonus at the end of the
Yeah.
night to not have to wait with the crowds to get on transportation, especially from
Yeah.
Magic Kingdom. That's a
Yeah.
bonus.
And I
in
mean, you're
itself.
looking at a 10-minute, maybe 15-minute with slow, tired little legs, but not a far walk at all
Yeah.
things considered. So.
Yeah.
So talking about best rooms, there's quite a bit of information on this for here. So I'm just going to kind of read it to you. This is all from Touring Plans again, just to give you guys a general overview. So the two basic hotel rooms in the Contemporary section, not talking Bay Lake Tower, the A-frame tower and the Garden Wing rooms in the A-frame overlook either Bay Lake and the marina and swimming complex on one side or the parking lot with Seven Seas Lagoon and the Magic Kingdom in the background on the other. So if you stay on the Magic Kingdom side of the A-frame, ask for a room on the 9th floor or higher. On the Bay Lake side, the view is fine from all floors, though higher floors are preferable. I almost was like, how do I say that word? In the Garden Wing, rooms 6116 through 6123, and then the same thing on the floors above. And ground floor is 5105 to 5127. And 6124 to 6130 provide easy access to the pool. So again, we talked about the pool, but if the pool is still something you want to do, those rooms may be for you. Avoid rooms ending with the numbers 52 to 70 because those are going to look directly at a parking lot.
Yeah. Who wants
So
that?
again, lots of information about kind of those rooms, but maybe the biggest one is that last one. Avoid rooms that end in 52 to 70 because you're going to be looking at a parking lot.
Natalie says she just checked out of the Edna Mode room. That's really fun. And then I think the Garden Wing got updated to Incredibles finally, right? I know that they were updating all of them. I'm not
Yeah.
sure how far they've gotten in that project, but
Yeah, I know
think so.
the main A-frame building I know is done, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure about where they're at with the rest of everything.
And it still says on the Disney website that they're still working. Okay, Natalie says, yep, all updated. Thank you, Natalie. Appreciate that.
Okay, there you go. First-hand account.
Perfect. Okay, I think so we have, what, 2 more to go for this episode, and then we're going to
Yes.
break till next week for the rest. But we also have some
Yes.
really fun things coming up at the end of this episode, so stick
Yes.
around because there's some fun stuff.
Yes. All right. So continuing around our loop that we're making, heading to the Grand Floridian next. Again,
It should be at the end, but we're just going to talk about it anyway.
Well, you know,
it's fine.
listen, the Polynesian disappeared off of our list earlier. I don't know what was happening. It's fine.
I was like, Jackie, where did the Polly go?
And I was like, I don't know. It's gone. It disappeared off of my notes, and I had to redo all my notes for it. It was an afternoon today, you guys. It's good. It's good. So, Grand Floridian. Kate,
Okay,
tell us
Grand
what
Floridian.
you heard about the Grand Floridian.
Yeah, the Grand Floridian. So a little tiny bit of history and context around all of the Seven Seas Lagoon. There was originally going to be a resort for each of the seven seas. That's why we have the name Seven Seas Lagoon. However, a lot of the projects got scrapped for various reasons. Some of them got scrapped because they would put pylons into like the swamp and they would just disappear like forever. Like they couldn't build, they physically can't build there. And that's why there's not more resorts. You think like there's prime real estate around that monorail loop. They should add more. But they physically can't because of the construction of the land. The land won't allow them to do it. So we didn't get all of those resorts. So instead, like they kind of pivoted. And Walt really wanted the different resorts to kind of reflect different lands in Disney. So we have the Polynesian reflects Adventureland, and the Contemporary echoes Tomorrowland, and then the Grand Floridian would be like Main Street USA. So if you're connecting them to things in the park, it was inspired by it was opened in 1988. It was inspired by Victorian area beach resorts built along Florida's east coast during the late 19th and early 20th centuries. Its exterior is modeled after the Mount Washington Resort in Bretton Woods, New Hampshire, and the Hotel del Coronado in Coronado, California, with red gable roofs and white walls. Additional design inspiration was also taken from the former Bellevue Biltmore Hotel in Bel Air, Florida. So that's kind of where they got the design from. So do you want to chat a little? Oh, wait, I have one more fun little fact.
You missed a fun
I
fact.
have to say this one. Yeah. Talking about fun things that happen in each resort, right? So this one, the Beach Boys filmed a music video called Kokomo there in 1988. So
I love it.
Fun things that we had Nixon
So
in,
fun.
in the Contemporary
And the Beach Boys.
in the Grand Floridian.
I love that. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. So let's talk about rooms. Again, same setups as we've seen at the other deluxe level resorts. So standard rooms will sleep 5. They average around $1,000 a night here. Deluxe studios will sleep 5. They will average you around $963 a night. But if you request a lake view deluxe studio, you're going to be looking at $1,034 a night. So $1,034. So again, you're paying for your view at a lot of these resorts that are close to the parks. Mm-hmm. They've got the villas, again, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom villas. 1 bedroom villas are going to sleep 5. They're going to average you around $1,433 a night. So we are definitely on the highest end of these villas that we've seen so far. A 2 bedroom villa is going to sleep 9, and it's going to average you around $1,632 a night. And a 3 bedroom villa that will sleep 12 is going to average you around $4,400 a night. So definitely, like we've mentioned, if you are wanting to stay there, but maybe not quite wanting to pay that full price, look at, renting DVC or splitting the room with some family or friends. Lots of different options for that.
Yeah, which is where I actually stayed here. And this is like the thing that I love. This is like the bougiest thing that I love about this is when you're in the bathroom, there's a TV in the mirror.
What? Oh my gosh.
Of course, I took a picture of it because I was like, when
Of
am I ever
course.
going to have a TV in my bathroom mirror
Right.
ever
Oh my
again
gosh.
in my
That's
lifetime?
insane. Oh my gosh.
It's gorgeous, though. I mean,
Yeah.
I would say a lot of people will say, I'm trying to find a picture I had of the regular rooms because a lot of people will say it feels like going to grandma's, like bougie grandma's house is what
Yeah.
the design style. Some of it's like that. I love the
Right.
ones in the DVC property because they're kind of themed subtly after Mary Poppins, and they have the little penguins in a fountain in the
Yeah.
atrium, and they have little Mary Poppins touches, which I love. I think that's
Yeah.
so great. And I also love that the wedding pavilion is really close. This is one I took out
Yeah.
of our window. So even this is not a water view, it's still a really nice
Mm-hmm.
view if you get an upper
Yeah.
level. And the wedding pavilion, you kind of see the corner of it over there.
Mm-hmm.
You can, if you see that view, it's great because you can watch the people get married. Like you can, like my girls watched this go by,
Oh, the
which
Cinderella
is so
carriage.
fun.
Oh my goodness.
It's kind of fun to watch, like spy on all the wedding parties that
Right.
happen there.
And
I
see
think
what's
that's kind of
happening.
fun. I
And
don't
even
know.
just like watching the workers like run all around and get everything all set
Yeah, it's
up
like
and
you
all
get a
that
little
kind of
show,
stuff.
even if you don't get a
Right.
water view.
Yeah.
Standard view, you get see a lot of
Right.
things.
Right. Right. So again, those features in those rooms you're going to get at the studio level, the kitchenette, at the villa level. Some of these villas go up to 4 bathrooms here, which is not something we've seen at the other villas. So again, bonus bathroom space, which is always appreciated. Kitchen, living, dining area, washer, dryer, balcony, those types of things for the in-room features. For the food here, 11 options across the resort at this location. Victoria and Albert's is here, which is one of the top fanciest restaurants that you
With a
can
dress
eat
code.
at. Yes,
Yeah, the dress
on
code for
Disney
it.
property with a very particular dress code as far as that goes. So if you're looking for that high end dining, then they also have character dining at 1900 Park Fair here
have
as
one.
well. Yay! Oh, look how cute.
This one was really fun. And they had Mary Poppins too, and Mad Hatter.
Some
And they have a
really
little
unique, fun
organ in there too.
characters over here. It's not your standard characters, which is kind of fun especially if your kids are into the characters that are there. It's a really great way for you to see them.
Yeah, it's really fun. We really enjoyed it. And it was like a breakfast buffet, I think, when we went. And my daughter kept getting like gummy bears because they had, I guess, an ice cream bar, and so she kept getting like the gummy bears and put them on her plate. And our server noticed that she kept getting gummy bears, and so like when we went to leave, she presented her with a giant plastic cup full of gummy bears to take with her, which
That's
was
so
like the
cute,
sweetest
though.
thing ever. Little pixie
Yeah.
dust.
I love that.
Memories.
So cute. Oh my goodness. So at the Grand Floridian, they've got 2 different pools there. Some other amenities for the resort is they do have the full spa here, which is one of the popular ones that a lot of people
Really
will
good.
book. All sorts of different services that they have there. They've also got poolside cabanas. You can rent boat rentals, fishing, the fireworks cruises, basketball. They've got a health club, and they've got, again, the electrical water pageant viewing area. So all of those things as well. Transportation, we're looking again, monorail to Magic Kingdom and Epcot. Bus options to the other parks, and they also do have a boat to Magic Kingdom as well.
And you do want to take the monorail there. It do take the monorail from Grand Floridian. It's great, and it's really close. It's a very quick ride to Magic Kingdom. It's like just a 3-minute quick ride.
Because as Lem was pointing out earlier, the way that the monorail goes around, woo! The Grand Floridian is going to be your last stop. So if you're getting on in the Grand Floridian, you have the shortest ride to get to the main gate at Magic Kingdom.
Absolutely.
As far as best rooms, again, this is all from touring plans. Best rooms are going to be in the range of $43.22 to $43.29 and $44.22 to $44.29. They will have full balconies and overlook the lagoon in the direction of the beach and the Polynesian resort. Other excellent main building rooms are 4401 to 4409 with full balconies overlooking the marina and an unobstructed view of Cinderella Castle across the lagoon. So if that's the view you're looking for.
And I've done a lot of research on the views from Grand Floridian just from staying there. And, you know, yes, the water views are great, and I love a good water view and a good park view. But honestly, if you can't afford the water view and all you can afford is to see out the other way, like I said, it's a really gorgeous view. The parking lots aren't like super close to the buildings. You're not necessarily looking out like just the parking lot unless you're really at the lower level. As long as you're in an upper level, you can see it's pretty gorgeous view anyway. So don't be disappointed if you're like, I can't swing the water view there. I don't think it will break your vacation. So
Right. Yeah.
And also, gosh, Lem said monorail to Magic Kingdom and then take the boat back to the Grand Floridian. So that's the way to save the most amount of time. So thanks, Lem, for chiming in.
Because on
with
your
that.
way back, you're going to be the last stop. So the monorails don't switch direction. They continue in the same way that they're going. So keep that in mind. If you're, the last one to get on, you're also going to be the last one to get off. So
Yes, it will take a while. Sorry, we had a whole bunch of bots on this side. Thank you, bots, for taking care of that. Appreciate it.
Oh, goodness. Rhonda says, I was just playing, but a few weeks ago I found a 2-week DVC rental in April for $4,900.
A 2-week one?
At the Grand Floridian, Rhonda. Wow.
What? That's crazy. That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I want to do that.
Right?
Let's pool our money together.
How can we make that happen?
That sounds amazing.
It does sound
That sounds
amazing.
like a girl's trip to me. Just say it.
Yeah, Rhonda said yes. Yeah, Rhonda said yes. That's what she found. Wow. Very
That's
cool.
awesome.
See, so you never know what you may come up with on those DVC rental sites. So
Yeah, sometimes I just browse there just for fun. Even though I'm like,
just
there's
to
no
see.
way.
Maria says,
see.
can we all do that? How many people can we fit in that room? What kind of room was it? I have it all figured out over here.
Could be up to 9 people if it's a
never
2-bedroom or
know.
more if
I
it's
know.
the
Right?
grand villa.
Right? I love
funny.
it. Too fun. Too fun. All right, so I think
right.
that's all that I have about Grand Floridian.
Yeah, same here. So, Polly,
Okay.
onto the Polly.
Yes, leads us to the Poly, which, it disappeared off my list earlier. So we went a little out of order. Abby says, I'll sleep on the floor. And Maria says, count me in.
And
I
of
love
course
it.
says she's in.
All right, perfect. See, we got this, guys. We got this.
Oh, God.
Rhonda, come on. Rhonda said, I didn't grab it, though. Hubby not as interested as me. Rhonda, don't you know you have a whole group of Pocket Fam that would love to go with you?
Come on.
We can make it work. We'll figure it out. No. All right, so let's talk about the Polynesian Village Resort in the Magic Kingdom area, the other resort that is on that monorail loop.
Yeah, so this one opened just like the Contemporary did in 1971, and it has the Grand Ceremonial House, which is like the lobby, and then they have the lobby with some restaurants, and then they also have the long houses is where you stay in. So they did like rename all the long houses. I don't know if I'm going to read all of this, but they renamed them in 1999 to ones that were more the islands on the Polynesian Isle map. So they have some like historic names, and then they have their current ones. And then like someone mentioned on here, since we're talking about people who did famous things at these resorts, the Beatles did break up at the Polynesian Resort December 29th, 1974. It's when John Lennon signed away the final contract for that. So that's actually not all great things that happened there. The Beach Boys one was fun.
Yeah, I like that one. That's probably my favorite.
And I will say something that's not on here, but they did originally have wave machines that they put in the Seven Seas Lagoon, so that they would have waves and you could do surfing at the Polynesian Resort because that was such a part of Hawaiian culture, right?
Yeah.
But they realized that the wave machines were actually like eroding the shore, and
Didn't work out the way they wanted it to.
No. So, and then of course later they stopped doing water sports and stuff in the bay for all kinds of reasons, mostly bacteria that was dangerous for people, and also the alligator population. So
local wildlife will do that.
Wildlife. But they did, originally have a wave machine to make it really feel like you were at the beach. And so, it's a little
Super cool.
backstory about the Polynesian.
So again, like I feel like a broken record, same kind of setups that we have here as we've had at the other resorts. Standard room is going to sleep 5 people, looking at $935 a night. Your studio going to sleep 5 people, again looking around $835 a night. So very close kind of in price range for those. They do have different kinds of suites that will sleep 2 to 8 people. So a little bit smaller suites over here and a little bit different configurations with the suites over here than what we've seen at the other deluxe resorts. So they have what is called a honeymoon room or a honeymoon suite that will sleep 2 and averages $1671 a night. They've got a 1-bedroom suite that will sleep 5 that averages $23.29 a night. So quite a bit for that 1-bedroom suite. And then they have, and I'm going to butcher this name, it is the King Kamehameha suite, I believe is how you pronounce it. And that will sleep 8 people, but you are looking over $5,000 a night for that suite at the Poly. So that is up there in price for sure. There are also, yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, keep going.
Yeah. So, I love the lobby. It's just,
I know.
It's such a vibe.
Miss the waterfall, but yeah.
I know. Such a vibe. They do also have bungalows at the Poly, and these bungalows will sleep 8 people. And did you happen to find photos of the bungalows?
I don't, but I can look it up real quick.
They are they are fairly newer to that resort area, and they are pretty cool because they sit out away from the main building, like in the water basically. So they're pretty neat. Yes, $5,000 a night, Abby. Must be made out of gold. I know, right? You're not wrong in that. But the bungalows, again, will sleep 8 people, and you're looking at $3,600 a night for those bungalows.
They look like this on the outside.
Yep, perfect. You can see those if you take the ferry boat back from Magic Kingdom to the TTC. You can see the bungalows like all lining across the water as you drive by, which is always a fun view to see.
Mm-hmm. And you're correct on the pronunciation, so good job with that.
Yay!
Anything on the Grand California, and I'll just mention that we're going to do the Disneyland resorts in our next episode. So because we still have we have a lot more to do in the Epcot area and Disneyland. So just stay tuned. That'll be in our next episode because this is a long one. So.
Yeah. Oh, Rhonda says, I was so disappointed that they ended the luau at the Poly. We loved it. Oh, yeah.
That was
hard.
sad.
Yeah. So let's talk about features. Again, standard level rooms. You're going to get kind of all the standard things, but you do get a balcony, which is nice to have again. At the studio level, you're going to get one full bathroom, but 2 showers, which is interesting. So it's kind of those.
It's great. Yes.
Those extended showers with the 2 showers.
I just stayed there. Yeah. I had a horrible view of the parking lot in the TTC, but I stayed at the resort recently. And yes, the bathroom situation is one of the best in, I think, most of the ones you can get in a studio, because you have one that has a rain shower and its own sink. And the other one is where your toilet and like your full shower with a bathtub. It's a big room and a sink. So you can have, like, my husband and I stayed there. We're like, you get that bathroom and I get this one.
Right.
It was so great.
Yeah. It's nice to have. So that's even at the studio level, you get that. So it's not something you have to splurge for the suite to get those kind of little separate areas. Not completely 2 separate bathrooms, but little separate shower areas.
I mean, having 2 showers is like a huge bonus, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe it's me. It's great.
Well, then you're not waiting around, like, especially I think about like the trips that, like just my husband and I took before we had kids, like you only have 1 shower, you got to wait, like someone is sitting there waiting to wash all the park grossness off of them. Yeah. If you have 2 showers, you don't have to wait. It's lovely.
It's so great. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then at that studio level, you're going to get, again, the kitchenette with the fridge and the microwave and the balcony. At the suite level, you're going to get a small fridge with your standard stuff. But then it also says you get personalized guest services at the suite level. So again, kind of those perks of staying at those upper level deluxe resorts. And then in the bungalows, you're looking at 2 full bathrooms, a full kitchen, living and dining area, washer and dryer, and a private deck with a plunge pool.
Yeah, that's Lem says they have music piped in, have private whirlpools and hammocks. Hammocks are so great at these ones that are
Yes.
kind of the island themed resorts. Oh,
Yeah,
the
beachy
hammocks are my
themed.
favorite part. Beachy themed,
I
yes.
noticed because you added them to what was it? I think Caribbean Beach when we were
I know. I'm
talking
just like,
about it.
and the hammocks. We
Add
got
the
to talk about
hammocks.
the hammocks.
But yeah, I just the bungalows are like on my like bucket list somewhere that I want to stay because I just think they're
Yeah.
so unique and just so cool. But yeah,
Well,
they have
yeah.
that private little private deck and a plunge pool.
And I love the vibe overall of the Poly. For me, is so relaxing because they light the tiki torches at night. It is really dark though to walk around
Yeah.
there. Like I was
Yes.
doing a live there, and I felt like I was like, is somebody going to jump out of the bushes and get me? Because I can't
Oh
see
no.
anything. So I love the vibe with the like tiki torches, but some of
Yes.
it's very
However,
dark. So
yeah.
bring your phone with your flashlight. So if you need to
Right.
walk around at night, you can see.
Right. Right.
It's just super dark. I mean, I felt it was
Yeah.
safe. I was safe.
Right.
But still, it's
But
weird.
still.
So,
Right. Yeah. Maria says, yeah, another Pocket Fam girl trip idea to stay at the bungalows.
yes,
We'll add it to our list. I
with our
love it.
plunge pool. Yes.
I know. How, but
I'll
like,
be in
how
the hammock.
fun. You can find me in the hammock.
The hammock.
I love it.
It'll be so
So
fun.
speaking of the vibe, let's talk about food. 10 options here that you have, including Trader Sam's Grog Grotto, which is one of the most entertaining bar atmospheres
So
that you can
great.
find on property. A lot of you who are in here who are Pocket Fam. Sorry.
Are you okay? Like, where'd you go?
Okay, we're good. My phone was yelling at me for some reason. I don't know what just happened. But have seen lives at Trader Sam's. Ohana is also here. So lots of really good food options as well. Two pools, and the Oasis pool
Oh,
has the
I have
giant
one.
patio kind of around it.
This is the.
Um, the,
This is not the Oasis one. This is the. What is it called?
I
Volcano.
don't remember what the other one is called.
Oh, I have a name for it.
Volcano?
This is the main one. The main pool. It's got
Yeah.
a name, and I'm trying to blanking on it, but it's great. It's got a
Yeah.
really big water slide in it, and it's right near.
Yeah.
They also have what we didn't put on that list. I don't know if we put it on it. Was they have the pineapple lanai, so you can get Dole Whips outside of the park. I know you can do that
It
in
was
Disney
not
Springs too,
specifically on there, but yes. Yes, it is a
They-
good thing
so-
to mention as far as that goes. And amenities, they've got, again, fishing, volleyball, boat rentals. They have the Senses Spa, so a spa here as well. And again, the electrical water pageant viewing. And one of the other things that a lot of people like to do at the Poly is sit on the beach to watch the fireworks at Magic Kingdom. Just a really chill way if you don't want to go into the parks. It can get very busy over there though, because it's like one of those things that used to be a really well kept secret, but now everybody knows about it. So a lot of people come over to do it.
Yeah, it's true.
And they'll pipe in the music and all of that kind of stuff. But there is a spot along the beach area that you can sit and watch the fireworks.
Yep, and you can see. I finally found my map for it. You can see all those
Hooray.
bungalows lined up there.
They're just so cool. I just, that's probably like top of my bucket list, like I said.
Yeah, and then the
Those
Grand
bungalows are
Ceremonial
just so
House, which is like the lobby, is also where you'll get the monorail from.
Yep.
So that's its main. Well, I'm just jumping right ahead to. I don't know if there was more, but transportation.
Nope, that's perfect. That's right where I was headed. So, yeah,
Yay.
monorail to Magic Kingdom and Epcot. And for this one, I mean, you're smack dab in the middle of the monorail either way. So make that choice as necessary if you're coming or going. They do offer a boat to Magic Kingdom as well, and then buses to Studios and Animal Kingdom.
Lem says there's a secret spot at the Poly, the Old Wedding Hill. I don't know if I know about that one. Lem, please.
I feel like I've seen that on your live, Lem, but
Yeah,
I don't
tell us
remember.
more.
I don't recall. Tell.
Well, he's going to tell us that. Yeah, there is that boat to Magic Kingdom, which you can see out there. And I will point out that a lot of people do report that these ones that are closer to the boats, you can hear the boats honking their horns, especially early in the morning. If you're someone who likes to sleep in the morning, don't stay near the boats because you probably will. It's very, very obnoxious. Some people have said like it ruined their trip because it was so loud. And the rooms in general at the Poly at least I've thought they had very thin walls. Because when I stayed there, I heard a lot of things through my walls.
Oh no.
And I was like, oh, okay, these walls are super thin.
Yeah.
So, white noise maybe at
Right.
night if you need to sleep.
Fans or
Just
something.
fans,
Yeah.
yeah. And know that if you're going there with your kiddos that, they might make a lot of noise and
Right.
just know. That's just something to know.
Yeah.
Let's see. The green spot with the sidewalk below the bungalows. Okay. So that little thing that sticks out into the water.
Oh, that's right in the middle of where you're showing us, right below the bungalows. Okay, that's what I was thinking. So it's like a little hill area. So you're up over top, like you can see up over top of the bungalows a little bit more.
I can't believe I've stayed there twice and not checked that out. So
Yeah.
learn something
Now
new
you
every
know.
day. It's
Yeah.
great.
And as far as more information, according to touring plans about the best rooms, the Longhouse is most convenient to the Great Ceremonial House, Fiji, the Tonga Suites, Rarotonga, Niue, and Samoa. I'm
Yeah, you
hoping
can
I'm
see 'em on
saying
the
this
map.
right. Offer views of the swimming complex, a small marina, or inner gardens, possibly with the monorail. So those inside ones are going to be where you're going to want to stay. And like Kate said, try to stay away from the boat dock.
Yeah, and I have stayed twice in Pago Pago, which is the one that's down near the parking lot down here. And the transportation ticket center. The only good part about that is that you can have a very short walk to the transportation ticket center because it's right there.
Oh,
But it is not a great place to stay. So
Yeah.
it's fine if you have nowhere else to
Right.
stay.
Right.
But if you're, gosh, I was so
if you're
upset.
wanting those picturesque views, that's
It was
hard.
really sad. It was Elliot's first time too, and I was looking forward to our balcony with
Yeah.
the tiki torches and all the stuff, and instead it was we just kept our curtains closed the whole time because people could see directly in our room while they were
Oh,
getting in their cars. I was
no,
we're not
thank
going to
you.
be on the balcony. It's
Yeah,
fine.
we're not doing that.
Yeah, so try not to get that one. Otherwise, you'll probably be fine.
Right, there you go. Perfect. So I think that's all that I had about the Poly. Whew, and we made it. We did it.
Lem says it has a tree with unique fruits. Forgets what they're called. So I guess there's that.
Okay.
Yeah, we did it. We made it. We made it.
Yeah,
Whew,
I
and that's
know.
not even all of them. That is
No.
only
So
half-ish.
that's half-ish. Yeah. So now you see why we split it into two. And again, apologies for kind of just throwing all this information at you. Long-term goal is to get some infographics out to you guys once we have a chance to get all of the information gathered and put together so that way you guys can have it for the value level, moderate level, and deluxe level, Disney World, Disneyland, on property, off property, all of the above that we have given you guys. That is the goal kind of after all of these, this particular little series of our episodes. So if you missed anything, look out for those, or as always, send us a message. Post on our Discord channel. If you're not familiar with the Discord, check the link in our bio. You can find the Walrus Carp Pocket Fam Discord there. Lemuel, Magic Bands and Trash Cans is also over there too now. He is a wealth of knowledge for deluxe resorts especially, but also just all things Disney, as is Kirk at Walrus Carp. So you can check us out there as well.
Yeah, and we have some fun things before we go, so don't hop
Yes.
out quite yet because you don't want to
Yes.
miss some of these
You don't.
fun things.
Don't leave yet.
Lem says, great job, well explained for deluxes. Thank you, Lem. We appreciate that
Thanks,
coming from
Lem.
you especially because you know
Yeah,
how
'cause
knowledgeable you are.
I'm in a whole new tax bracket here because I knew very little about. I knew a few things about a couple of the deluxe resorts, but again, I was doing my research today. I was texting Kate there's way more here than I thought there was.
I know. I'm glad I've stayed in so many. That really helps. Otherwise it's just, I don't know. It's this
Right.
place with buildings
Yeah,
that I've never been
absolutely.
to.
Yeah. Well, let's get to some fun things here before we
Yes.
sign off for the evening. We were mentioning the Discord. Thank you, Lem. Lem popped over to tell me that I also did great. We were mentioning the Discord, so if you're unfamiliar with the Discord or what we've been mentioning as Pocket Fam, check out the Walrus Carp Discord. And I have to show these off because I just got them. And let me turn my light off so you
so
guys
cool.
can actually see. Kirk's got new sunnies. on the website. So these are the Haunted Mansion ones. Sorry, it's a little dark now.
Those are so fun.
So, and my favorite part is the little walrus.
Oh, so cute.
I know. So, oh, I know, Lem, we're matching. So if you need amazing theme park polarized sunglasses, check out Kirk at Walrus Carp. He is the best of the best when it comes to that kind of stuff. And theme park clothing, all of the above. So be sure to check him out if you are someone who wants unique theme park clothing that's not something you're going to just be able to buy on Shop Disney.
Yeah, very unique, niche, specific theme park clothing.
Yes,
which is great.
Absolutely.
I love that.
Absolutely. Let's see, what else did we have to talk about? See, I made a list because I was like, I'm going to forget something. Should we do the giveaway?
We should do the giveaway. Yes.
Let's do the giveaway. Okay, so for those of you who have been following us and know, this is my friend Zero. He is going to be going to a new home after tonight. So we are giving him away. Those of you who entered on our Instagram post. Let me take this off of here. Oh, man. I have entered you all. Let me...
Get a little tour of your house behind you. It's great.
Hooray. I know, right? Ooh, this is my basement.
Oh, look at all the...
Okay.
I love it.
I know so many. They're laser discs.
Oh, fun.
I know, right? Okay, so we have 43 entries over here. These are all, now bear in mind, these are Instagram usernames. So keep that in mind as you're looking for yourself or looking for someone you know. So we've got 43 entries. Yes, 43 entries over here from our Instagram posts. So I'm going to hit shuffle here a couple times. And let's find our winner. So exciting.
Where's my bell? Let me get my bell ready.
Let's see. And our winner, Weiss Boland.
Yay!
Hooray! So if you are on here, be looking out for an Instagram message from us so we can get a hold of you about your mailing address so we can send you your Zero.
So exciting.
All right. And thank you to all of you who tagged people and shared the post and entered to win. We really appreciate all your support. It's a lot trying to grow a brand, so to speak, with Mom Street and trying to get that off the ground. So we appreciate your guys' support, as always, on all of our posts and everything. And if you guys are not already following us kind of all over the place, we are obviously on TikTok. I'm like hitting my camera now. We are obviously on TikTok at Mom Street USA. You can also find us on Instagram. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us all over the place.
Yes.
We are just kind of still figuring out all of our social media and all of that. So your following us and your support are so greatly appreciated.
Yes. And I appreciate all of you who have followed us during this live, and we really do appreciate that. And those, so you can also hop over at some point and follow on Mom Street USA. That will help us get that account to 1,000 so we can go live from there as well, because we would really love to build that community, because it's just a really supportive place for all of us to learn about Disney and be together.
Absolutely. So. And you can find those links in both of our bios. So if you have followed us, once we log off here in a few minutes, you can check that link in our bio to find all of our other stuff. I'm also trying to get our YouTube up too, so we can get those watch hours and make sure that we are hopefully on the right track towards doing good things on YouTube too.
Yeah. And our goal here is a lot of the the money that we were raising right now is all to put towards future giveaways for you guys too. So just thank you for all your support buying the stickers and shirts, which are available at DisneyCicero.com. Which we're both. Oh, you got the sticker. Look at you.
I did. I brought it down with me.
Oh, I did it again. Look, I can't. I haven't had dinner yet. That's the problem.
You can find our stickers, our lovely holographic stickers and shirts on Kate's website, DisneyCicero.com. And we've now got hoodies, right?
Hoodies. one of their fun things. Yeah.
Hooray!
I just added hoodies last night, fresh off the presses. So if you want a Mom Street USA hoodie for those cold winter months, we have those available for you as well.
Yep. So
And
short sleeve, long sleeve, and hoodies are all available there, as well as some of Kate's merch, which is super, super fun. Shirts that she's got going on over there for her and Kirk's show, Distery, which you can catch tomorrow night on TikTok. And Kate's got some other fun things going on her page too.
yeah, so crazy, but I got to do kind of a collab with National Geographic, and they have a new book that's out by one of my favorite authors, Marcy Creeker Smothers, and this also has a foreword by Joe Rohde. So it's a amazing book, and it's called 100 Disney Adventures of a Lifetime: Magical Experiences from Around the World. And I was like, oh, this will be like a nice picture book, right? And I was like, oh, that's great. And then I looked through it and I was like, no, this has got like actual Disney details and things that like
How fun!
history, and it's literally not just Disney parks, it's a lot of places around the world. So they have even like the Walt Disney Family Museum and some of Walt's places he grew up, and Adventures by Disney, and this is the Festival of the Lion King, and then they have some really amazing, well-researched Disney facts and stories in it from
That's
Imagineers.
so fun. I love getting to peek inside it. I saw your posts about it, and I immediately went and entered.
Yes.
I swear, if I win, I promise it's not rigged.
Yeah. So I get to give away 2 of these brand new, beautiful hardbound books next week. So I'm going to be doing it like a half hour before Distery next week. I know I hit my phone. And I'll be giving away 2 of them to 2 lucky winners. So the official giveaway is my Disney Cicerone on Instagram is where you can enter. You'll just need to follow me on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram, and then tag a friend and then say which place that you'd like to go for Disney that you haven't been yet. So very simple entry rules, and this book is not a cheap one, so it is definitely worth an entry. I'm really so happy to be able to read through it. They have Walt's birthplace, and they have which is probably the lowest resolution photo in the one because it's like it's old, right?
Yeah.
So they can't make it. They've got they even have some like the National Geographic national parks and things in here too. That's and they do connect them back to Disney in a lot of ways, which I love. So
cool. Yes, Brittany, go enter. Go to Kate's Instagram and go enter.
It's amazing.
I already entered because those books are beautiful, and
it's gorgeous. Yeah,
yeah,
you can see it. And
even if I don't win, it's going on my Christmas list.
Yeah. It's definitely amazing. So don't forget to enter for your chance to win. And I'm really excited and I'll be doing a live here on TikTok next Friday, right before Distery, to announce a winner, just because I didn't want to take any of Kirk's time away, although I'm sure he wouldn't mind, but still, so we'll do a little extra bonus chat, if you will, before Distery next week and draw a winner of this fabulous book from National Geographic.
Michael, you can enter by going to Kate's Instagram. So hop over to her side of the live, and you can find those links in her bio.
Yeah, there's a link. There's just like the Instagram icon that's in my bio that you can click on, or in my link in bio, there's a link to the Instagram, my Instagram page.
So
and you'll see a post with this book. Look for this book. The post with this book on it is what you'll be looking for. And then you can see all the rules to enter. So yeah, absolutely. Exciting stuff.
It is so many fun things, and I'm so okay. Wait, now, but did I miss this? Kathy, was that your Instagram that I pulled that won the Zero Bucket? Kathy, I'm so excited that you won. I didn't realize that was your
Kathy.
Yeah, I didn't realize that was your Instagram.
Oh,
I'm so
Kathy,
excited.
I thought you were saying you were sad that you didn't get it because I didn't recognize
Kathy!
your name. Yay!
I'm so excited.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yay. Well,
what great timing for you, too.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed where you said, that's me. Yay, Kathy, good job. Yay.
I know, I saw it, and I thought that she said, oh, I never win. And I was like, oh, she didn't win, that's sad. But then I realized that she was saying that she actually won.
I love that we both missed that. Sorry,
I know,
Kathy.
I was going back through as you were, talking, and I was like, wait a minute. Oh, Kathy, that's so exciting. Well, Kathy, I don't know if I can get it to you before you leave, but I'm going to mail it out tomorrow. So I will message you right after we get off of here to get your address, okay? Because I'm going to the post office tomorrow. So maybe I can get it to you before you leave. I know you leave soon, but I don't know when you leave. So I would love for you to have it.
We have multiple personalities on like Instagram versus
I know.
TikTok
well,
versus.
I was like, I was looking at it. I was like, I don't know if I recognize that name or not.
Oh, but congrats, yay. Kathy! I'm so happy for you.
I love it.
And
so
we will have more giveaways. I think Jackie and I have to talk about what we're going to do next, but this is not the end of the giveaways, so stay tuned for more. Obviously, I've got my book that I'm giving away, and then I'll probably be giving away some things for Disney Cicerone as well as Mom Street. Just giveaways. It's like holiday time. Like I feel like let's be generous and let's just give things away.
And like Kate said, we'll just kind of end with the thought that, you know, we're really here for everyone in our Mom Street community and the Pocket Fam community and you know, all of that combined. The whole premise of the show was created by Pocket Fam, and we are here to help you guys have successful trips and learn how to plan with kids, without kids, all of the above. So just thank you guys again so much for all of your support, for hanging out with us for over 2 hours on a Thursday night, listening to us ramble about resorts and all of that. We just really, really appreciate you guys and your time. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, we for sure do. This community is so important, and I've really appreciated all of you guys, especially since, you know, I've been going through my own stuff with losing my job and stuff, and how many of you have reached out and chatted and just made sure everything's okay, and I appreciate that. And we are here for you guys, whatever you need and whatever questions you have, especially about the Disney parks. We're happy to answer those offline on Discord, or you can email us at momstreetusa@gmail.com anytime. And also, if you have show suggestions for future shows, we do have ours planned out for a little while now, but you know, we're always happy to maybe mix it up a little bit if there's something a lot of people want to hear about. This is a show that is for you guys, and we want to make it what you need. So let us know.
Reach out if you've got ideas. Like Kate said, we've got some plans, but we're also super flexible, and things will adjust as we go, like this episode needing to be 2 parts. So part 1 complete. Join us next week for part 2 of Deluxe, where we talk about the rest of the Disney World Deluxe and Disneyland Deluxe. And we'll hopefully give you guys the rest of the info you need for the Deluxe World.
Yes. And I also mentioned before, I forgot to add this in. I'm sorry, Jackie. I am giving away, talking about giveaways. I'm giving away I Speak Fluent Disc Story stickers to all of my current TikTok Live subscribers. So if you are a subscriber and you haven't gotten yours yet, please head to my subscriber notes, and see the code that you need at DisneyCicerone.com to get your free sticker, because I want to say thank you for being a subscriber. Appreciate it.
For sure. Check that out. Super fun. The holographic stickers are just so much fun.
They really are.
I just love them.
Yes.
Perfect.
I know. They're special.
I love it. Well, thank you. We're getting lots of love in my chat over here. Everyone's saying that they're here for us too. It's just such a wonderful community. We're so grateful.
I got one question here. DVC buy-in, DVC point rentals, pros and cons. I think, you know, honestly, it depends on your personal philosophy about, you know, if you want to do timeshares or not. Some people are like, no, I will never buy a timeshare, because that is what it is. At the end of the day, it's a timeshare, and there are fees that you need to pay, and you know, so it's up to you. Also, how often you want to go to Disney locations or resorts, even around the world. You know, that's something to factor in, how often you want to travel there. I know a lot of people that own DVC and love it. I've known a lot of people that have gotten out of it because they're like, this isn't for me. So it's just really personal preference, and also your own budget and whatnot. I personally just decided that renting seems to make the most sense for us. But that really is your, you know, personal preference. Yep.
Yeah, and if you guys have a lot more DVC questions, that Discord that we talked about earlier is a really great place to ask them. We've got quite a few people on there that are basically experts in DVC. Kat's on there, My Disney Vibes. She's a great resource for DVC. So feel free to put them on the DVC channels in there, or if you can't figure out where to put them or you have questions, send them to Kate and I. We can post them for you. We want you guys to get that information for sure.
Yeah. Thanks, Nicole, for subscribing. Hope you get your free sticker. Don't forget.
Yay, sticker.
Appreciate it.
And don't forget, you can catch Kate and Kirk tomorrow night for their Distory show.
We're talking Pinocchio.
At 8 5:30 Eastern or 5:30
Yes, 5:30
Pacific. I always have to think about that because I want to make sure I get it right when I'm doing the conversion.
I know. I do the same thing.
So be sure to tune into that.
We're doing Pinocchio, or we're talking about Pinocchio. That sounded wrong. Sorry. We're going to talk about Pinocchio tomorrow night. I can't recover from that. Oh gosh.
Oh no. It's
We're going to talk about Pinocchio's daring journey.
There we go. There we go. There it is.
And it will be a great discussion because I found some historical documents that show when they actually built that area of Fantasyland in the 1980s. I found the actual documents from WED from when they made it. So we're going to be going over a lot of those tomorrow and the intent behind a lot of the scenes from the actual Imagineers that made it. So it's going to be a really great show tomorrow. And everybody's laughing. Yeah. Woo. Sometimes I say things I shouldn't say. And also, I'm also going to be in Disneyland coming up mid-November, the 14th through the 18th. And so I will be doing a very special live one of the days. I have to decide which day yet. I'll be doing a couple lives while I'm there, but I'll be doing one that specifically, if we're going to pretend we're in 1955 when the year the parks open, and only do things and eat things that happened in 1955. So it's the 1955 challenge. Fun. And it'll be a full day live, and it'll be a really fun. My kids are starting to come up the stairs. You can hear them.
I can hear them a little bit. I was like, uh-oh.
So keep an eye out for those. Those will be really fun. And then, so I'll be at Disneyland, and it'll be great. And I think that's most of the things, right? Yeah,
I think
got
we
all
did
the things.
It's all the things.
That was
and
an
more.
epic journey. Thank you all for hanging out with us.
Appreciate you that are still here. We love you all, and we will see you next week on Mom Street. Next Thursday.
Mm-hmm. Appreciate you guys. We hope you have a wonderful weekend, or hopefully you'll see you tomorrow night as well for Dis Story.
Bye.
We'll see you. Bye, everyone. Have a good night.